reassuring things. 1, 10.
Civil War.
Alrighty. Okay, so good news. We're on YouTube, we're on Rumble, and we're on BitChute. I was able to get that figured out there.
Fancy.
Whoa.
Absolutely, yeah. And we're not live on Kick right now, but in the off case, if YouTube does decide to give us any trouble, we can just go on to Kick because I got it situated with them too. For whatever reason, the artwork's giving me a hard time with trying to make the little banner that says we're offline because when you're not streaming or when you're ending a stream, they allow you to upload your own fancy artwork, which I tried to and it wouldn't cooperate with me. So technical difficulties. We'll get that situated eventually.
Who wants to cooperate with you?
The missus. That's really about it. That's part of the reason I broke out all this extra equipment. As this was one of our microphones that we used a while ago when we were in Detroit. Because the one on the camera goes ahead and gives us a little bit of trouble.
Okay. Ugh. Well,
all right, so
at least you broke out the
introductions.
All
right. Whoever wants to go first, one of yous, two of yous.
I'm Crossfire.
There we go.
Also known as our golden guest. He's the one guy who thankfully is usually always available whenever we do this shit.
Yeah. It's karma right there.
And myself, I'm the CEO of Chaos Media. All right, that leaves you, Scoob.
Yep. Yeah, and I'm Scooby331, editor-in-chief. That's pretty much it. That's me in a nutshell.
Between you and R. Kelly. Hey, at least it ain't Diddy.
Yeah, that crazy bastard.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
So we've got a lot of wild stuff. We've got like about 5 topics roughly. What was it? Your mic cut out again.
I said, yeah, that's what I was telling you. That
I do have the song
so much in the news
queued up. So
okay.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I've got to see if I can turn your volume up, Scoop, because you are extra quiet.
Okay.
I hear him fine.
Might be. I don't know. All right. Oh, good. Crossfire, you got the new music ready? All right, kick ass.
It's by Skybrowse. It's called No Fox Given. So you can guess what it's about.
All righty.
Are you ready?
And a 1 and a 2 and bam, rolling.
You guys hear it okay?
Comes out all right on my end.
You know who Kai is?
Yeah, that's Hassan's dog, right?
Yep.
That poor animal's making around.
Right aside my mission, base departments and below proposition. Nonsense without contextual, a flaming paradox.
Some of these are VTubers.
Like intellectual over sexual, but we want to keep it respectable. No fox given. I lit the flame I was given. Ring ding ding, what does the fox say? Truth, yip yap, nothing fake. Okay, simple symbiosis, yeah, you know the way.
It's definitely some type of weird LSD trip.
Yep.
Okay, well, that one's leaflet. That's the NPC.
There's a There's a lot of them. It's same as the typical one.
Yeah, I think this is probably something I'd see. Oh, Jesus Christ, does not look like an evil bastard.
Cause I'm just a little jugular.
That's powder.
Purity spiral diced into division. No
Oh yeah, I think I changed. I went on acid.
That's Smuggalana. She's great.
No, it's no fox given. Can't
She's
help but
hilarious.
speak with precision.
And then that's
Because the
Yusha.
derision keeps me driven. No fox given. No more shame, nothing hidden. Ring, ding, ding. What does the fox say? Oh my God, spicy take. Okay, simple symbiosis. Yeah, you know the way. They get more bass each passing day. Quang-a-lang like bro, but they're all no show.
Is that Adam Smasher?
I don't know.
It's not who you are, but what you do. All that really matters is that you heard the fox suit. The shoe fits and girls fits your wear, counting you. The people are much weaker when they're split in two.
Lend your voice to what it must defend, cause truth don't bend like a
What
pass.
in the hell?
The way you feel, how you deal with the real spiel's been stamped by the common.
Yeah, this is definitely one of the weirdest things you've sent me.
Decision, ring, ding, ding. What does the fox
I literally
say?
found it yesterday.
Your business, fox who don't play some symbiosis. Yeah, you know the way. Fuzzy till a day keeps the cray at bay. Quang-a-lang like bro, but they're all no show. Though half them yaps make you stop like woo. Shake those tails in the air like a fox. Don't
Who's that?
care. Loud and proud
Looks
and
like
going
Asmongold.
nowhere.
That was
When you
Asmongold.
feel you're falling behind. What the fox unlocks is a fabulous find. Taste or just taste what's real in life. If the truth cuts deep, that's the price of the knife. Stand
I don't
tall,
remember
find
all of the
sharp,
names of the
bow,
YouTubers in
spine,
this.
no hurt in
I'm
the
not
fall,
gonna lie.
price, I clear my
I don't know, but that's a pretty decent render of a Ginsu knife. So somebody studied well.
Well, it's AI.
Mm. Kitty Vance!
Little man hungry, running
What is that? Something from Twisted Metal?
I
Not
don't.
Twisted Metal, Heavy Metal.
Every day the media fillet. Quang-a-lang like bro, but they're all no show. Though half them yachts make you stop like.
This is definitely a good thing to start the stream with. I don't know who that is.
Sure beats me, dude.
Gotta give for the grift. Love the subs and the lift. Rolling re-sheeple, stacking those slow.
Light prim and proper paper scripts out of control. It's vertically divided, that's fine. Redefine, using your mind
That's
doesn't make you
interesting
unkind.
fights. What the hell are they
Slip
fighting
the edge
through?
and back from the ledge. Cancel
AI is
cancellation. Now
pretty
we're
good
flying
at
full
this kind of
flash.
stuff.
No fox given. You know we got
Especially
the
if you know
golden
what you're,
blend.
like, trying to do.
And on nines, sit and watch me slay. Simple symbiosis, yeah, you know the way. Fuzzy killer day sweeps decay away. Quang-a-lang like bro, but they're all no show. Though half them yaps make you stop like.
LSD trip of the day.
Oh yeah. Jesus, that's something I'd expect to see if I decide to start eating some mushrooms when I just get lost in the woods.
You're welcome.
Holy crap. Well, that was interesting.
Leaflet's new stuff is even more cringe.
Oh Lord. All right. We can
Yeah.
play that one later on. All right, so let's
Especially
see here.
since it involves some explaining some of them.
Oh joy, it's gonna be another one of those watch along type of deals. Oh, all right. Yeah, we can do that later on. All right, so speaking of LSD trips and acid and things of that nature, there's been one very humorous thing that made the rounds that it normally is something I wouldn't have thunk of, but as soon as I'd seen everyone looking at it, I went, that's actually fairly impressive. It turns out that recently the president and the first lady had some inbred monarchs over from one of those not America countries. And when they came to visit us, I guess we had like a tea party or something or other over at the White House. And the president just scoops up a bumblebee and just has it chilling in his hand and then offers it to Melania. And the inbred monarchs are like, who? Because I guess they don't have bees in whatever country it is they came from.
Mhm.
So I found that as absolutely hilarious. Let's see here. Where is it here? There we go, from the White House directly. Is that hilarious or what? He's just chilling with this bumblebee.
I mean, it's better than getting shot.
Yeah. I guess coming to so many near-death experiences learned him the ways of Zen.
Oh yeah, did you see that image of him looking at Millennia like first time?
I haven't, no.
Let me see if I can find it. This is from the from what happened on Saturday, I think it was.
All right. But yeah, I thought that was actually relatively hysterical because this is something so odd that out of all the things to make the news, him holding onto a bee and not being stung winds up being one of them. And I just kind of wanted to laugh at the fact that this now counts as news.
With a hat, a mega bee. Look what I have here.
Is that a bee?
With a hat, a mega bee.
That's hilarious. Yeah, people have been having all sorts of fun with it.
Of course. Why
Like
wouldn't
doing
they?
this. I used to collect a few of these when I was younger, the little tech deck skateboards.
Mhm.
It was always fairly difficult to do all the little finger tricks with that. So I actually find it funny that somebody went and did that. But yeah, that's probably just one of the shortest bits. But out of all things to make the news, a bee. Ooh. All right, just send it to me in Discord.
I'm looking for it.
All right. Just let me know when you do. I'm basically going to have to go ahead and email it to myself
Right.
because Discord's not wanting to pop up on the computer. It'll pop up on the phone just fine, just not the computer because reasons. I don't know. All right. So anyways, yeah, that was relatively hilarious just because normally people run from bees. You know, hell, when I was a kid, I got stung by a whole bunch of them, and it was not fun. I basically soaked myself in cactus juice, you know, and then I
How'd
had
that
to
go
have
for
someone
ya?
pull the stinger out. All right, so let's see here. So last week's conspiracy, we had Project Aurora as a possibility as far as why a bunch of scientists are dead. We've got a new
Found it.
oddball one. See what, Crossfire?
I found it.
You found it?
Mhm.
All right, cool. If anything, put it up in the private chat. That'll actually be easier because I can just drag and drop.
1 second.
All right.
You said in the private chat on here?
Yeah, it's right in the studio here. Take your time.
Sorry, I'm moving browsers and stuff.
No, that's fine. Take your time, dude. If you
Uh,
want, if you want me to give you a few minutes, I can go ahead and get into the next topic while we go ahead and pull that up or drag and drop it, whichever it is.
Yeah.
I mean, if it takes a few, it's perfectly fine. There's no rush.
I
Yeah.
am probably just gonna send it to you through DM. It's easier.
Okay.
Get the stupid link.
All right. Let me see then. Oh, looks like he dropped out. All right. Oh, there he is. Jesus, talk about technical difficulties.
Wrong button.
All right, y'all good? Y'all situated?
Yeah, I'm just trying to actually copy and paste. Is my
All right. So, anyways, while you take your time with
I'm
that-
getting used to this setup.
All right, that's fine.
Okay,
You know,
I
it took
I
me a
did
good
figure it
minute-
out though.
All right, it took me a good minute to get into how I got this all set up. You know, that's why I kind of adapted and brought in some new equipment like this thing.
I sent it.
All right, you did? All right, cool. All right, where'd you send it to?
To your to our DMs. Under all your gay profile pictures.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to have to go ahead and email that to myself. See if I can open in browser and do something like that. Such a pain in the ass. It's when technology doesn't cooperate with you.
Mm-hmm. Do you see it though?
Yeah,
First time?
that is funny. I was like, oh, is this your first time being shot at? All right, let me see if I can pull that up on the email. Ah, criminy, it looks like it's not even loading. All right, well, oh well. Jesus. Go figure. Such is life. Oh well. Anyway, speaking of being shot at, this is the other topic I wanted to get into. Apparently there was
I heard about this guy.
Yeah, this one struck me as really weird. As last week we had the whole thing with Project Aurora and all that, or possibly something akin to it, and a whole bunch of scientists being dead. And now this guy just goes and crashes his truck into a ditch by a park, and yeah, now he's dead. And it's you know, doesn't seem like it's obvious blunt force trauma from hitting the steering wheel that got him. You know, weird
Kind of
stuff.
like 2 bullets to the back of the head, and it's ruled a suicide.
Possible. Let me go get the video. Because so far, I did some looking, but this and basically a guy in a tinfoil hat were as far as I got.
A Republican candidate running for state Senate, missing for 2 days, has now been found dead.
And now questions swirl about what happened. His truck found in rural western Oklahoma at a wildlife park.
KOCO's Jason Berger spent the day on scene talking to state agents about the mystery.
OSBI says the actual crime scene is about 2.5 miles in from where we are currently. Barry Christian was last seen on Tuesday, and Thursday his campaign managers confirmed his death. The vehicle that we found matches the vehicle of Mr. Christian. Sky 5 flew over the scene inside the Sandy Sanders Wildlife Management Area off Highway 30 on Thursday. The pickup truck matches the description of Barry Christian's vehicle. Pilot Chase Rutledge also captured one of Christian's campaign signs at that scene with investigators nearby. Because of where the vehicle is in that ravine, we are working with the Wildlife Reserve to get better access to it. Barry Christian's campaign managers confirmed he died, and in a statement said in part, quote, "After an extensive search, officials located his body on April 30th. At this time, the circumstances surrounding Mr. Christian's death remain under investigation." Why the truck was here, what that individual driver was doing, we're just not sure. OSBI noted Christian was reported missing a day after he was last seen this week. Mr. Christian was last seen on Tuesday. However, again, that missing persons report went to the Sarah Police Department yesterday. And who made that report has not been released. Who that report exactly came from or why, we're still going to obviously be in contact with the Sarah Police Department on that. OSBI is leading the investigation, and further updates will be provided through them. Christian was 54 years old. How he died has not yet been released. In Beckham County, Jason Berger, KOCO 5 News.
A Republican candidate.
Whoa, no, don't play it twice.
Play it again. Play it again.
Jesus, I tried to hit stop, not play. Jesus, one of those days where we're all gonna have technical troubles. Oh my God. Criminy.
I started playing No Fox Given again.
Hilarious. I don't know. Maybe he took some mushrooms and went off into the wildlife preserve there, the park, and I don't know, just like the drugs killed him. Who knows? It's oddly suspicious. I mean, it is getting to the midterms and that, you know. Different people are getting into voting. Interesting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it's tied to, let's see here. Let's see. The editor sent me this as far as something possibly related here. Let's go pull this one.
I have the best news ever.
You have the best juice?
News.
Oh, do tell.
Give me 1 second. Anime GTA came out before GTA 6.
Oh, nice. Good.
It should be sharing. Yep.
Thanks to modern technology, you will soon be able to take an anime character out for a romantic drive. The urban-based open-world RPG, NTE, is releasing in just 1 week from now, and the recent livestream preview showed off the game's newest features for launch. You can drive all around the city in a number of cool vehicles, and some really wacky ones, or decorate your
wheelchair,
or fight against supernatural monsters, all alongside a colorful cast of characters. One of the sickest things they announced is that banners will have no 50-50 coin flip on getting either the target character or a filler unit. You get the person you want within 90 rolls guaranteed, with a soft pity at 70. Since they also announced
That's just stuff with the gambling part of the game.
All right, there, I can go and clip that off there. Nice. You know, I did see a couple ads for that game, and I was wondering
It's super
about
fun. I have it. Oh, it's free, but I've been playing
no
it.
way.
Super fun.
Oh, cool shit.
There's also Zenless Zone Zero, which is super fun too.
Part of that one. All right, let's see if I can pull up that other video that editor sent.
Scoob's still dead?
Yeah, he's going to try and restart his stuff. He's having difficulty as always.
Hey. Are you a scientist? Why, yes, I am. Now, you wouldn't be researching free energy that could make using oil obsolete and potentially bring down capitalism, would you? I mean, guilty. I'm just trying to make the world a better place by making free energy accessible to everybody. Oh, no, we completely understand. But see, we can't have that. Because free energy means no oil, which means no going to war for said oil, which means no billionaires profiting off of war and oil. The three main things destroying the planet. You catch my drift? Oh, completely. Saving the planet and sharing technology that would make the world a better place, not just for billionaires, but for everyone in the world? Who wants that? Not us. Not exactly. Yeah, we don't give a fuck about any of it. Just of course. Got to keep that slave system set in place for the poors. Yeah. Oh, before I forget. So how would you like to die?
We get to choose now?
Yeah. Self-inflicted gunshot wound, the plane crash, balcony slip. That's a classic. Underutilized, actually. The natural causes. Oof. I suppose letting me go isn't an option. No. Unfortunately not. You know too much. Well, I'll take natural causes for 300. Ding, ding, ding. You're the winner of the 300 of I don't know. I've never watched Jeopardy, so I don't really. All right. We'll send someone over to kill you in your sleep tonight. Ta-ta. Ditto. Catch you later. You're funny. You're funny. You're good. You're good. All right.
Oh, hilarious. Oh, it could have been. I never know. A couple scientists and a guy who's trying to get himself elected. Might have known something. Who knows? Well, it's going to take a good minute for anything to come out on the investigation for Mr. Christian.
Yeah,
It's
nothing
kinda-
really new with the Iran war. It's all kind of just the same stuff now.
Yeah. There's not much going on with the Iran war. I mean, that one, thankfully, can be pretty much wrapped up quickly. Okay, hey, Scoob, you get that thing working now?
I think so. Hopefully.
Jesus.
You both sound all right now.
Yay.
It's working. You just sound quiet as shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
didn't need
That
one
you got
tweet.
off Microsoft.
Yeah, and I could hardly hear your
Yeah, I
microphone.
know.
I don't think it's a Microsoft issue for me.
How about now?
I hear
That's a bit better.
Okay, good. That's what I figured.
Yeah, just yell into the thing.
All right. Should probably be better now.
Yeah, I can actually hear you.
Okay, I see what I had wrong. Okay, not a
Here,
problem.
let me see if I can.
Think I fixed it.
All right, there you go. I adjusted the settings so your mic volume is increased. All right, try it now.
All right, how's that?
Significantly better. All right, I'm going to put you at 200.
Okay, good.
All right, sounds much better. Go ahead and give it a whirl.
All right. So, what were we up to covering so far?
We covered the president going zen, holding a bumblebee, and terrifying the crap out of the inbred monarchs that came to visit.
We went over anime GTA coming out before GTA 6.
Yeah, an anime company beating Grand Theft Auto to their next game already and making it free on top of that. And
free to play.
Yeah, free to play, but there's gambling elements involved. It's one of those freemium games like how they advertised on South Park. And then Representative candidate
nice.
Barry Christian is dead. Basically, the guy crashed his truck and was found somewhere in a park.
You guys want Twitch news?
Oh, God, what do you got from Twitch?
Sure.
Something horrible?
Let's just say it's horrible.
Okay, hit me with it. Humor me.
Okay.
It's part of the reason why I want to do this in the middle of the day, so that if we each had our own individual bits we wanted to throw in, we'd have plenty of time for it. All right, bringing it to the stage.
From Blabs called Thought Watch. This is a...
Is it...
The Hoodama what?
Okay, is it ready? Okay.
Think so.
All right.
The
So
volume
this is just
a
a
little bit
clip.
low.
So, and this is Banana Juju, a VTuber. That is racist because she's white with dreadlocks.
a great segment from Blabs called Thought Watch.
Hell
Blabs,
yeah.
why don't you guide us
Let's
through this
go.
real quick?
Oh, it was just like if it was bored today, why not thought watch on a Monday, I guess. Anyway, so basically there's a couple of streamers out there or OnlyFans that I thought would be fun to cover. So the first one is Morgue Pie. Now, do you guys remember Morgue Pie?
I remember the name. I don't remember what she did or why.
She's the one who was basically almost showing her boobs on stream, but wasn't, and she'd be bouncing around, and clearly her boobs are bouncing around, and then she would go and show her, like, put a green screen on her ass. She would wear green spandex and basically have Fortnite on her ass while streaming. And so you'd be looking at her ass. She was like glass hair, all this other stuff. If you scroll down on that page, actually, you'll see the perfect examples. It's rated PG. You can see it. There you go, right?
OnlyFans.
Fortnite on her ass, boobs.
I remember her. Yeah.
So now she's got a new little kink going on, and if you play that video, that's the first video.
I mean, that outfit
on
looks
that
nice.
segment, you will see that she's
How
got
about
a new
that
toy.
Oh, I
Just
remember
let
you
it
sending
play.
this. Yeah, this is hilarious.
So she's got her the cleavage out. She's all bondaged up.
1 sec. Place.
She treats her dog so much better than Hassan. Hassan, please take notes.
This is shocking.
Look at Phoenix. He's so done.
That's hilarious.
So
And
Morgue
there's a
latest
bit more to
thing
this story
is-
now. Now there's two.
Now there's
He
two.
doubled
Two
down and
what?
brought two gimps onto stream.
Oh Lord. Alrighty then.
It's the sad state of Twitch.
Oh, this is one of the reasons why I'm not having this company go on Twitch at all. I may be an absolute nut job, but I'm not going to be doing things in front of a camera in my underwear. Okay, that's just no. Nobody at the staff or any volunteers whatsoever of Chaos Media are going to be going on Twitch at all, let alone on Twitch practically naked doing hearsay, none such, whatever horse-schwabble it is. Okay, it's just not going to happen. No, these people are insane. The closest
That
we'll
part
ever
is
get,
the CEO probably enjoys it.
the closest we'll get to doing anything weird like that is if we get some type of people that want to do like 5-second clips or something like that, to where they're in costumes and like as people can see with the background, I invented that camouflage pattern, and I usually make textures like that. If I can make like a tire of some kind or another for people to go wear and go, oh hey, I got this from Chaos Media, I got this off of whatever Redbubble like site we have. Sure, because I know the one thing that is relatively new is just about everybody and anybody on YouTube that's basically been a surplus guy or a prepper guy or a gun guy now has their own small warehouse or something or other for military surplus. So it's like, cool, okay, yeah, I might do something like that. But no, I'm not going to have bimbos running around or himbos running around naked wearing the logo we have up there. Yeah, no, not happening.
Scoob?
I don't know, Scoob, your microphone working? You got any thoughts on that? Any humor you want to throw in there, bud? I'm going to wind up having to send him one of these just so that he doesn't keep having trouble like this crap. Christ.
Yeah, these guys are good. They're called side scrollers.
Yeah.
The host, who's on the far left of it, is
You hear me?
yeah, I hear you, but you're
It's
very
breaking
laggy.
up horribly, though. Side scrollers. I think I have heard of that. Aren't they supposed to be like the people that do Death Battle?
The host was.
Okay.
Like, he was part of Screw Attack, but he's on his he's doing his own thing now.
Okay. Yeah, I haven't watched them in years. Hasn't really been my thing because, busy with other stuff going on. But all right, let's see here. Write down the list of things.
Oh, they're not even called Screw Attack anymore. They're
They
called
aren't? What'd they change the name to?
It's just Death Battle because that's all they do.
Just Death Battle? Oh, all right. Okay, so you wanted to get through Epic Fury because that one was going to be short. We can do that. Because I remember you mentioned it earlier.
I said there's nothing much going on with it.
Nothing much? Yeah, no, nothing. Hardly
It's
anything.
literally just been, are we in a ceasefire or no?
Basically, yeah. I mean, I normally don't like to use too many mainstream sources, but as short as this is going to be, this is basically the most I could get without somebody trying to spin it too much in one direction or another. Because with things of this nature, it's like, okay, I want to
So
try.
far, yes, but it seems like there was a ship attacked or something.
There's some crap going on. Oh, where did I put it? It's here somewhere. Here we go. Yeah.
Meantime, President Trump says he doubts the U.S. will accept Iran's latest proposal, threatening the regime with a fresh round of new strikes if they don't fall in line. Ellen Rivera, live in Washington, the very latest. Hey, Maddie.
Good morning, Griff.
Remember how I said our
has sent the U.S. a 14-point proposal, but it does not appear to immediately address one of President Trump's key sticking points, which is Iran's nuclear program. Axios reports per sources the plan set a one-month deadline for negotiations on a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, end the U.S. naval blockade, and permanently end the war in Iran and in Lebanon. Per the Iranian proposal, only after such a deal is reached, another month of negotiations would be launched to try and reach a deal on the nuclear program, the two sources said. The president doesn't sound too happy with that. He says on Truth Social, I will soon be reviewing the plan that Iran has just sent to the U.S., but can't imagine that it would be acceptable in that they have not yet paid a big enough price for what they have done to humanity and the world over the last 47 years. Now the president is leaving the door open for more strikes if a deal is not reached.
If we left right now, it would take them 20 years to rebuild. But we're not leaving right now. We're going to do it so nobody has to go back in 2 years or 5 years.
Under what circumstances would you start military strikes on targets?
Well, I don't want to say that. I mean, I can't tell that to a reporter. If they misbehave,
I can't tell that to a reporter. No shit, Sherlock.
Yeah, and they complain about this when it's like, you're literally telling the enemy.
Yeah. Like, I mean, like humorously, we could simulate this right now because you and I, or wait, I, then you, and
They've literally asked, like, are we going to start a draft? And he's like, it's on the table.
Yeah, it's
he's not going to say yes or no even to that.
Yeah, you can't compromise plans. I mean, like, yes, I'm a journalist and you are a Marine. And sure, I can ask you a thing or two as far as basic shit, but I can't just go up to you with with like one of these microphones and go, hey there, I don't know whatever the hell your rank is, but I'll just throw a dart at the board and I'll go with Sergeant just for shits and giggles.
Not even close.
Say what?
Not even close.
Not even close.
Nope. That was a shitbag.
All right. Well, all the same, I can't just like go up to you, go, so Sergeant Crossfire, are you guys planning to get deployed to Iran next week?
I would just say, how the hell would I know that?
Basically, yeah. You'd like look at me sideways, go, the fuck? Like as much as a journalist is just like, yes, ask questions, try and get like an actual story or some facts or something or other. But you can't just go up to like a military personnel or the president and go, can you tell me point by point what it is you plan on doing with X or Y or Z? You can ask us, okay, well, do we have a plan for getting out of this? Can you tell me anything about that? Yeah, that's generic enough where, okay, you're not going to compromise anything because all it takes is one of these Iranian guys to plug in the TV and go and get some rabbit ears, and then they tune to Fox News and go, oh, okay, well, this is what the infidels are doing.
No, they literally just use their retards on Twitter.
Yeah. That's also why there's the internet, too. There's the internet caliphate or whatever they call themselves. A buddy of mine wound up having, like, the digital
Similar
Islamic
to the Tencent army in China.
Yeah. Like the Chinese woodpeckers. Yeah, the 10 cents. Or whatever they call themselves. But yeah, there's divisions in various militaries that do that. I'm sure we have our own in the U.S. You know, the Russians have the woodpeckers, the Chinese have the 10 cent, and the Iranians have like the digital caliphate or whatever the heck they call them, or, you know, the Islamic State by extension, but same difference, you know. You know, they pay attention to our dues so they can get an idea of what it is we're going to do. So them going and asking them, okay, well, hey, we gonna do this, we gonna do that, or whatever. It's like, I can only tell you a few things, and that's it, you know. The journalists getting grumpy about, oh, well, I'm not getting a scoop. Yeah. Duh.
I do have a little more on Twitch.
Yeah, sure, because, I mean...
There's more Morgue Pie madness.
Oh, Lord. What else do you got?
We're about to find out, because I haven't watched this.
All right, let's see how bad this is. All right, give it to me. And a 1, and a 2, and you're good.
For gamers, but now it's devolved into something that is truly regrettable in many senses. Number one, people are looking at this platform and believing it's catering to and hosting a whole group of content that has no business being on a 13-plus website. And also, a lot of people believe this platform plays favorites and selectively enforces.
Wait a minute. Pause that.
Feels like it. Now, all of this has happened under the very...
Did he say that Twitch is to be used by people who are at the youngest 13 years of age and older?
Mm-hmm.
Do they have some type
of...
It's
a 13-plus app or a 13-plus website.
Okay, out of curiosity, if I were theoretically a 13-year-old dude watching this, is there some type of content filter or something to where, like, the butt crack lady that they were talking about earlier with the green screen on her boobs or whatever it is there some type of filter to where it's like, okay, the 13-year-olds, the 15-year-olds, all the way up to 17-year-olds can't watch this video from this person?
Does the home page count as a filter?
Does the what?
The home page.
Does the home page filter that out?
It's on the home page.
Okay, so they have no barriers from that.
Mm-mm.
So,
and the reason that she was like partially nude that one time is because Twitch had a partial nudity had a nude meta.
Wait, you said they had a medal? They'd give out medals for nudity?
Nude meta, like meta.
What?
Like, it's game language.
Okay.
Like meta gaming. Like trying to break rules without... I'm trying to explain this, but I don't know how to explain it.
So she's trying to game the system or something is what you're saying?
Kind of.
Gotcha. And I kicked your volume up too to 200 so I can hear you a little bit better. All right, continue the video. That was like the main question I had as soon as Rev started.
Very careful watch, and I mean very close watch of CEO Dan Clancy, who has allowed stuff like this to happen. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, a second GIMP suit has hit the Morgue Pie streams. We are once again looking at the absolute degenerative Olympics that Twitch has become. This is a 13-plus website that creators, talents, whatever you want to call people like Morgue Pie, are taking advantage of. They know that they can get away with anything they want. So that's what they're going to do. They're going to farm content on this platform.
Seriously, he wouldn't let me live it down because I'm trying to save battery power on his eyes. Because it's not nighttime.
At worst, they're going to get a one-day ban. And for Morgue Pie, she's racked up over a dozen at this point and is not afraid of what Dan Clancy is going to do next. So not only are we going to look at this latest set of antics here, but also during that same time, Morgue Pie hosted another quote-unquote talent who went on her stream and said that white people are an inferior race. Yes, this, to answer the question, is the identity of Twitch. Hosting completely inappropriate content for a 13-plus platform, and also hosting people who will say stuff like that with no fear.
I'm going to pull a Hassan and chair stream.
Now, before we get into all the Twitch stuff, a quick reminder that there's only 2 days left on the official Rev plushie campaign with Boo Market. We are over 300% funded at this point. Here is the 360 view. If you have not checked this out, you can find a link
that's
to
an
this
adorable
campaign
little thing.
in
I'll
the
have to make sure
pinned
the missus
comment.
doesn't see it.
Thank you guys so much for
the
the support on this campaign. Make sure to get one before it is gone in just 2 days. It greatly helps out the channel and also helps out with future merch opportunities as well. So again, link in the pinned comment. Be sure to check it out before it's gone. So really, this is the sort of mindset we have with this video. It's a classic tale. If you give a mouse a cookie, that describes what's going on with Twitch to a T. Because what's happening here is a group of people who get away with everything and receive little to no punishment, continuing to push the boundaries because they know it will financially benefit them in one form or another. One of those people to do that is Morgpie. Morgpie pretty much has caused the entire rulebook to be developed on suggestive content at this point. She has been banned over 13 times on Twitch in the last couple years alone. There are multiple rules in the handbook that are directly about her because she finds a certain...
Look at some of these bans.
What do we got here? I can't read. It's too small.
1 second. So most of them are for less than a day or barely a day. And then there's one for 37 minutes. She literally had a ban for 37 minutes.
Banned for 37 minutes for doing what?
I don't know.
Well, isn't that suspicious?
Certain rule and tries to either bend it or violate it in many cases to her own financial benefit and also to promote her content, her adult content that is off sites. That is the entire process she does. She ends up getting banned for typically a day, comes back and does it all over again. But instead of having a spine and getting rid of her, Dan Clancy and Twitch have allowed this behavior. They have enabled this behavior to continue and continue. Now, recently we talked about this clip that went viral from a Morgpie stream where, as you can see, she had someone by millions promoting herself and promoting the exact theme she was promoting on the stream because she knows nothing's going to happen. Now, as we saw, a lot of people were just tired of seeing this content on Twitch in general, but also they were pointing out the hypocrisy that she can get away with doing stuff like that as a face cammer, but if you're a VTuber, you are likely to get banned for.
Yeah, there's kind of double standards for VTubers on Twitch.
Oh, gee, color me not surprised on that one.
Anything close to that, and that's definitely grounded in some truth. The rules for VTubers themselves, the center of attention.
Anytime anybody does something controversial on Twitch, the VTubers all come out. They're like, but we can't do whatever we want all the time. Okay, but you can't have exposed hips. Yeah, because it explicitly says that in the TOS that you just read the TOS. You know what I do when I wanna do something on stream? I just read. I just read the TOS. I just read the TOS. It explicitly says it in the TOS that you can't show your hips on stream. That's been a thing for like 2 years. Dude, that shit changed like 2 years ago. That's 2024, man.
Now, as you can see, a community note was applied to the relevant tweet during this clip saying Twitch has been known to bend their own rules to favor top streamers. If the TOS was enforced fairly, Morgpie would have been banned already, which is very true and reflects a lot of.
The one thing that stuck out to me for Kick's terms of service when I got it set up on there was they said, okay, no hate speech. No hate speech, no unlawful activity, no violence, no calls for violence, no terrorism. And I was like, all right. I mean, the hate speech thing kind of sucks because it's like I've seen that stretched in so many different directions just within like the different rulings in the state of Illinois where it's like, okay, I'll have to be a little careful with that.
I guess they have to say that, but they really don't enforce it because it's Kick.
Well, that's good because like, that was one thing I
because like Destiny's there and Sneak goes there.
I didn't know Destiny was on there. I knew Nux was on there, and he hits that quite a few times, but he does it relatively humorously. So I figured, all right, well, I kind of do that anyway. So, all right, that's not so bad. But yeah, no, she is right in that regards. This is also why I tell people all the time, don't get yourself arrested. You know, you don't have to be a lawyer who passed the bar. You know, you just have to be relatively aware, you know, of like laws and regulations for the most part, so that you don't do something stupid to get yourself in trouble. You know?
Website. I mean, are we serious? Like, of course, this person is
Jesus,
fighting for the right to promote a bunch of inappropriate content in a space occupied by children. If it isn't obvious already, you can see they like to use public spaces, including places where you can see dinosaur bones, right? You go to the museum. She likes to promote her adult content there, a space obviously occupied by children. And I have to censor this despite her wearing a top because...
Don't worry about it.
She's in a museum trying to advertise, hey, you know, Wang Dang Poontang. Oh, hell no.
Don't worry about it.
That's ridiculous.
I guess it must be very cold in there. And she says, Reizuka has never limited herself to only being one thing. Well, apparently that is going into museums and other spaces occupied by a lot of children and promoting adult content. This is ridiculous. I am sorry.
Wrong.
Doing this in a space like that is completely and utterly inappropriate. And of course, this individual is defending Morpie and wanting these individuals to have the rights to have this content on a 13+ platform. Like, it makes way too much sense.
Yeah, they like the standards are kind of weird with it. So like a VTuber model has to have like, if they're doing a bikini, they have to have like a really, they can't have exposed hips, but then like what they call flesh tubers basically do that all the time in the hot tubs and spas section of Twitter or of Twitch.
Hot tubs and spas?
Yes, there was a hot tub. There was a hot tub meta.
That sounds very luxurious. Joys. Hot tubs are expensive.
A kiddie pool counted.
What? You can't turn a kiddie pool into a hot tub. What are you talking about?
On Twitch, it counts.
What the hell? Yeah. Yeah, give it a shot. That should actually mix well.
It does actually mention add pineapple chunks.
Yeah. Yeah, that works. Yeah, normally you do that and then you add rice.
I'm not kidding. Like right before they created the hot tubs and spas thing, like the hot tub meta was all over Twitch. And they just called it that because a lot of people did have hot tubs. But if you were balling on a budget, a kiddie pool counted, and they could wear whatever like bikinis they wanted.
What the hell?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you go to bed.
And like I've said, the CEO, he's a gooner. He loves that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like women in hot tubs too. I'm just not going to have that for an audience of people that aren't adults. Like, it's one thing for me to like I talked to the missus about it because I explained to her why my mother took me to Hooters when I was younger. You know, because back in the 90s and the early 2000s, Hooters wasn't very expensive. They had good food and they had pretty women. You know, I mean, not that they don't have pretty women now, but like everything's unbelievably expensive. But one of the reasons my mother took me to Hooters is that she's seen some of the stuff they're doing in the Chicago public school system. Was like, all right, well, they're already trying to make my son feel bad because of like what we did in the dark ages where black people and all that stuff. So what's next? They're trying to turn my son gay. So she decided, all right, well, I'm going to take my son to Hooters. And every now and again, when there was like a varsity team or something in the suburbs that was doing like car washing and that, we're like, yeah, we're going to go to that because she wanted to make sure that I didn't get brainwashed or formulated into a homosexual. But never in my life would my mother go ahead and go, yeah, I'm going to sit you in front of these degenerate bimbos on the internet, son. Yeah, no, my mother has standards. This year is preposterous. Jesus, I'm stressed.
Now, of course, going back to Morgue Pie here, she would return and I guess double the entertainment by adding another gimp suit laden individual into her stream because she knows she can get away with one, so why not two? And I'm not going to play the related clip. You get the point, right? You can see what's happening. She's feeding them. This is obviously like softcore adult content being promoted on Twitch. People are tired of it. Now, some people are asking the very important question, which one is the Twitch CEO? Well, yeah, it's at least one of them, but that is the question here. Again,
and my skeleton buddy
what
here,
does Twitch want its identity?
got grumpy because I didn't turn his eyes on.
And under the careful
they always
watch
have his eyes on because normally we stream at night.
This is it.
This
is what people see when they see Twitch.
I have to
And
charge batteries. I'm not turning your eyes
you
on.
already seen so many advertisers leave, but I'm
His
shocked.
I only work at night.
This platform. I think a lot of them would be mortified to see the state of Twitch, and I can't even imagine what Amazon must think. Right? They're still in the red with their takeover of Twitch. They still have not received.
Yeah, Twitch is completely subsidized by Amazon.
Oh, lovely.
And that's pretty much why Hassan is still there, pretty much. Because Amazon just subsidizes everything and nobody in the higher-ups gives a fuck.
I had to go to Amazon to get the 2 terabyte drive we needed to put more content up. So that's lovely. So I'm subsidizing this crap even though I don't want to. How lovely.
Mm-hmm.
I guess my company's going to have to try and switch to eBay for supplies.
If it's tech supplies, you might be able to go to like Newegg or something.
I'm not familiar with them. Tell me about them.
1 second. Because I know they're not Amazon. Yeah, if it's like computer and tech related stuff, they're a pretty good place to go.
Good. Because, yeah, I don't want to back this degeneracy. This is horrible. Dear God, this is horrible. I can't wait to see the shorts we generate from this insanity. You kidding me? My God.
I don't have anything telling me what Newegg exactly is. I don't see a parent company or anything.
Any money back on their investment in Twitch. And this is what's going on this platform that should have been an easy moneymaker. But let's continue on. Here's some of the quotes. A lot of people just tired of this, saying, ban her and everyone like her. I'm so tired of adult content creators going after underage teens and constantly pushing the boundaries of TOS to slowly funnel them into debauchery and addiction. I mean, yeah, there's a lot more serious of an angle here behind this whole situation.
Yeah, I agree with them on that.
Don't worry.
Yeah.
Morgue Pie is on the case, and she is addressing these sets of
Like I
criticisms.
said, it's funny, but it's all on Twitch, which is the most depressing
what
part.
we were doing. They would have no idea what was going on. And it's not my fucking problem. It's not my problem. They're not my kids. No kids should be watching my streams, period. And that's regardless of whatever content I make on Twitch.
This is one of those very obnoxious things where she is hiding behind the TOS. She's basically modeling her morality behind Twitch TOS. Well, if the TOS allows it, I'm good. What I'm doing is fine. She's right on the one hand where parents need to do a better job. That's always the case, right? Parents need to do a better job monitoring what their kids are doing. But Morgue Pie knows that this platform is 13 plus. She doesn't just know this, she's counting on it Because guess what? The people watching this, I would say there is a number of children watching this. I think that goes without saying because they're getting access to a 13 plus website. They don't even have to go to somewhere that might restrict them by their age. They might not even get a weird look from their parent if the parent is looking at their search history because they're on Twitch, but they're finding this sort of content that is obviously inappropriate for kids to be consuming. Like, I think we can all agree on that. This has no place.
This is not for children with every video that I do. Now, the live streams, I assume, automatically do that, but I'll have to check and see if they have the option. I'll have to actually put the option of, no, this is not for children. Because, as relatively friendly as I am to youngsters in general, I'm not making content for youngsters. I'm making content for
Burnside likes children.
Oh no. Yeah, cue that scene from what's that movie? The rock and roll movie with School of Rock. Yeah, cue the scene from School of Rock to where
it's been so long since I've watched that movie.
It's one of Jack Black's best films.
I know.
And it's so hilarious. She's like, because like he lines himself up for it, and then like an angry mob of parents start chasing him out of the school. It's like, your children, they have touched me deep within. And
a 13 plus website. So Morgpie justifies everything going on here by saying, yeah, I'm aware that all of this is happening, but I'm within the TOS, and it's the parents who need the appropriate platform, which is just those spaces. She's pushing the boundaries of TOS just to funnel more people into her adult content. And let me tell you, not all of them are 18 plus. This is damaging to teenagers who can fall victim to this sort of addiction. I miss when Twitch was strictly gaming. Now, of course, I was, harping on this point here, but that's a whole nother discussion. But overall, I agree entirely with this post. And I thank someone like this for having their point of view, but still drawing a line that I think everyone is so common. And you know what else is common? Just abhorrent behavior on Twitch. So Morgpie would invite an individual named Nikki, who I guess is another talent. And she would start popping off on white people.
On the left.
Yeah, Twitch is the only place where you can find
surgery to that android half to try and resemble a human.
They both look like they have.
I've literally DM'd with her and been
they've
like,
had
surgery. You're so funny because she's done
stuff
they
on
both, her own that I'm like, that's.
I mean, the woman on the right at least looks more like a real human woman. The one on the left does not.
I just saw someone in chat say that she's racist towards white men, and I'm so sorry, but respectfully, shut up. Shut the fuck up, dude. You're gonna act like somebody's being racist towards a white man, the least oppressed group of human beings on society.
I'm not really liking all the piercings.
That's insane. Shut up, dude.
Why do they have Twister behind them?
They are.
Isn't that what
probably for the gimps?
Oh God, that's creepy.
That's not racism. I hate to break it to you.
Or they're doing their own Twister stuff.
Jesus.
What an absolutely abhorrent thing to say. Not only is it ignorant, it's just plain wrong. If you're treating someone differently based on the color of their skin, you're racist. And if you think another race is inferior, you're extra. Saying, see, when she's given a pass on the terms of service, she will keep pushing the line until she gets a slap on the wrist. Eventually, she'll get her 13th ban from Twitch, take a 2-day vacation with all the money funneled to her by the 14-year-olds, and then do this all over again with new gray areas. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Is anything going to happen to Morgpie in this situation? I would say pretty much no. There's almost no chance this is going to happen. This whole situation, again, this is what Twitch.
Sad, isn't it?
Yeah, it's twisted. What in all of the hell? Jesus.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, no, I'm not planning on taking this company to Twitch. While on occasion, when I do get more things set up in the studio, I might go ahead and boot up some of the old game consoles I have and kind of BS as I play them, maybe. I'm probably not going to do that on Twitch. I'll probably do that on Kick because I've seen a few people that play video games in BS.
I was gonna say Twitch is like one of the worst places to really start your streaming career.
Yeah. Jesus. Yeah, no. Technically, I suppose you could say I started this company's career, at least on YouTube, with our invitation to the DNC in Chicago, because I'm a local. I live there. I've got the company still there. So they're like, yeah, sure, why not? And then they checked the paper and was like, all right, whatever, bring them in. And yeah, that wasn't so bad. It was just until I seen how nuts it was over at the United Center, I was like really miffed that we couldn't get in. But the fact that they kept having to have extensive security because Antifa and friends decided, okay, hey, we're going to storm the stage by tearing down a chunk of the Kevlar walls, as I called them. And if you look on our YouTube channel, you can see like how they have them all up in what they call the footprint. And these guys basically like tore down one of those barricades when I guess everyone was taking a bathroom break or something, and just stormed on stage and just about chased everyone out of the United Center. So I was kind of glad I wasn't there for that, because it would have been like, oh, lovely. On one end, yes, I'd kind of have a scoop that I could show off while live streaming. But on the bad end of it, it's like, great, I'm probably going to have to whip out my martial arts and defend myself and other people who I may or may not agree with, but all the same, kind of have to defend them from the crazies, just on morals and principles. It's like, great, I have to, go ahead and call myself defense lawyers because I'm defending Democrats from crazier Democrats. Yeah. Whereas, thankfully, over at the McCormick place, everything was pretty civilized. Scoob, you got that thing working yet? Jesus. Maybe not.
I'm not sure. I'm trying.
You going through a tunnel or something?
All right, what is it? You're having this trouble on the work computer? What the hell?
No, it's just for whatever reason, ever since Microsoft updated, it's been doing it.
What version of Microsoft do you have? You
Yeah.
Windows? Are you using 11?
That's what I'm trying to tell you. Ever since Microsoft updated, it's doing this.
Well, are you using Windows 10 or 11? What did it update to? Because on the ROG top I'm running this off of, it's Windows 10. I have refused to upgrade to Windows 11 because Windows 11 has been ungodly buggy, and it's designed to be centered around a smartphone.
I just switched to CachyOS.
You might have to educate us on how to use that in the near future.
It's not super hard. It is based on Arch, but the updates are as simple as clicking a button, but they're kind of frequent.
Nice. Because he had his system running, and he just had to do an update, and it's not cooperating with his equipment. So I don't know.
My dad says it is stable enough for a server. So.
Oh, that's nice. Oh, Jesus. All right. So while he goes ahead and figures out if it's a Windows 11 problem, which it probably is, let's see here.
But yeah, I do like CachyOS, and then I've been fiddling with some other browsers other than Brave.
Yeah, Brave's done pretty well for me.
You can do vertical tabs with Brave, right?
Vertical tabs?
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really messed around with that. I kind of prefer the traditional.
Yeah, when you get a chance, go into settings and turn on vertical tabs. It'll change your life.
Nice.
And then, so I've switched to some browsers that do that by default. One through Firefox and one through Chromium. And right now I'm on Vivaldi. Brave uses Chromium as well, but Vivaldi was kind of the first one to do vertical tabs.
Yeah, hon? Yeah, I'll be back in 1 second, guys.
So, what do you want to talk about, Stu?
There's been a problem with Windows 11, as you were saying.
I've just heard Windows is just, or Windows 11
Can
is
you
just
even
kind
hear
of
me?
sucked. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Well, you're cutting out now.
All right. Oh, this is fantastic.
If
I don't
this
know
is
what
a
happened. I updated my OS yesterday, and
you might have to look into you might have to look at Windows to see what if they're saying if the people are reporting problems. But like I said, I don't really know unless I actually saw it, and even then, I wouldn't know. And also, if it's Windows 10, the like the icons in the start menu will be all the way to the left, and if it's Windows 11, they'll be centered. If that makes sense. That's kind of the main difference between 10 and 11 now. Like I said, I've switched to Linux
yeah,
a
this
while
thing's
ago.
operating great. Lucky me. Yeah, seriously. Looking at the start menu here, I don't see. They look in the same place they're always into. So I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
How old is your current computer?
Uh, 2 years old, maybe 3.
It should be fine.
It's pretty much brand new. I only use it for the. I only use it to stream. I don't use this for anything else.
Gotcha.
So, yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah,
the past couple of weeks, it's been acting more and more erratic. So
for Linux, kind of the best route of doing things is to just kind of see what your preference is. Like, for like something I've noticed with it is like the base operating system, like the distro doesn't really matter that much. It's the desktop environment that gives you, or like where most of your experience comes from.
Okay, thank you for waiting there, gentlemen.
We were just kind of chatting we were chatting somewhat personally, but we were just trying to fill time.
Oh, it's fine. Yeah, no, just had to square away a couple plans and stuff, meal plans and all that.
Yeah. Burnside. What I was saying about Linux though is it's not necessarily about the operating or like the distro itself, like whether it's Linux Mint, Fedora, Arch, whatever. It's more the experience. Like the experience mostly comes from the desktop environment.
Okay.
So, let me see. Right now, I'm actually running Cinnamon, which is what you were running on your girl's computer.
Yeah.
So, I'm using Cinnamon for that. I have a few other desktop environments that I'm using. I can pull them up real quick. I don't have anything that personal on here right now. All
right.
But let me see.
Yeah, we got time to kill this. We want to get into the other two topics.
Yeah, this is what I have right now.
I just had to promise the missus that I wasn't going to eat the last skewer because she has to get things prepped tomorrow, which is why she's going to bed early tonight because she wants to go ahead and get a whole bunch of mega cooking done.
Yeah.
But she really wants that skewer, so I'm not to touch it. So, that's fine.
Yeah, I do have my screen pulled up just to kind of show what I'm looking at.
All right. Let me go pop that in here. Bang. There we go.
Yeah, this is this is what I'm using right now. It's called Cinnamon, but it's through CachyOS. So it runs just like Windows. I can pull up Firefox if I wanted. I have Zen browser, which is my Firefox fork that I'm using.
Nice.
And then this is actual Firefox. So like stuff like this comes up. Let me see. I'll show you vertical tabs real quick.
All right, yeah.
Go to settings. Let me see. But yeah, like all browsers are doing this now. But you see it here. I just click it. It shows up here.
Oh, wow.
Changes your life.
Huh. That's pretty decent. Hey, you might have to educate me about that in the near future.
But yeah, it kind of helps with workflow because not up in the top and you're like looking through everything. It's just in the side and you can scroll.
Oh, nice. Yeah, because that's one thing I can't do is I can't scroll with the tabs on the top.
And then if you go with a Firefox fork, you can containerize your browsers, which means you can have tabs for containerize your tabs. So you can have ones for work, ones for like your finances, ones for shopping.
It would be neat.
And one that's just personal. And it like customize, and you can accept and reject all the cookies you want based on whatever container you're in. And then you can also have a shift to different profiles on top of that.
Not bad at all. Ugh. That would make things easier because I do want to keep tabs on what the price of gold and silver is every day.
Uh-huh.
So that's something I've had my eye on.
Right.
I, due to financial straits, went and liquidated my few ounces because the price of silver dipped. But still, I was still over double of what I paid for the 5 ounces I had. So I was like, all right, you know what? Fuck it. I can, when it drops again, I can always go ahead and buy it up. So that's decent enough for me. Yeah, Scoop. Yeah, no, I played that one earlier about the comedian talking about, well, how do you want to die with the scientists? Yeah, I played that one earlier. What, did you send me another one? Let's see here. Yeah, no, that one you sent me. Yeah, I played that one earlier.
That just means that the lag on this thing is so severe. Like video.
Jesus.
Like
I don't know. Did you
I completely missed you playing the video earlier.
Yeah, I told him the way you can tell it's Windows 11 is if the like all the taskbar icons are centered. Like they're in the center of the taskbar instead of to the left or to the right.
We'll have to figure that out. All right. Anyways,
I have become your de facto tech support.
Ironically, yes, and I don't even have the money to pay you, which I do if I could. We have a budget of $0. Anyways, speaking of $0, apparently InfoWars.
I just remembered something.
What'd you remember?
Keep going. I'll play it when I find it.
All right, yeah, just drop it in when you get the opportunity to. Okay, so apparently, The Onion has purchased InfoWars, and now they technically are no more. But fret not, because thankfully he still exists, or so they say.
I got it.
All right, here, let me play this fellow here.
So apparently Alex Jones is signing off from the InfoWars studio.
Just for context, Alex Jones right now has to pay almost $1 billion in damages.
I'll queue up mine.
Information case, and so he had to sell all of his InfoWars brand, which apparently has now been acquired by The Onion for millions.
Look at this.
I never bluff, folks. If you knew what we had, the whistleblowers, the documents, the hero flushes, they are screwed to the moon. We are committed, and if God stands with us, who can stand against us? And that's how I close out. What a crew. The hell we've been through has only made us stronger. Let me ask you, would you have any other way? No! Are you not stronger now in this fight? Yeah! I salute this crew and all the viewers and listeners to this fight. God bless you all. That's it. The next phase starts. The real war begins now.
Oh boy, the real war begins now. So anyway, apparently The Onion bought InfoWars, and this is how they introduce the new InfoWars that they have taken over.
But I'm going to sip from the blood of the Forsaken. This is real human blood. You can find this at the InfoWars store. This is a human blood curated from the Forsaken and the sinners. All right, this is pure premium blood, tested, FDA unapproved. And this is just human blood. As part of my satanic ritual, I am a servant to Satan, and thank God I was able to get him and the Lord to sit down.
This really isn't very good. This is really bad.
And come to their senses and get things back to before Satan was cast into hell. So I'm part of that. I'm part of the peace movement. It's thick. It tastes like blood. And this is Satan giving me the powers to continue to fight. And we will continue to fight. Wow. And I cheers to you. If you have access to the blood of the Forsaken and of all the children, this is not blood. These are adult. This is adult blood, by the way. Ain't no question. I made sure of that, because I don't want to get in trouble. But this is the blood of the Forsaken.
Can we just stop?
Wow, that's really embarrassing. Painfully
Thanks, Asman.
Zero imagination and cringe as fuck right out the gate. Norm Macdonald said that in order to do a good impression of someone, you have to at least like them a bit.
You can't play someone and have contempt for them at the same time. You know, it doesn't work as an impression.
The whole project was doomed from the start because Tim is too spiteful and doesn't really get Alex Jones. No, he doesn't. This is embarrassing. It's so pathetic and embarrassing. What would your mom think? She'd just think he's an idiot. She'd be like, okay, well, where's Alex? Was he going to be online somewhere else? Like, I don't know.
There's no video of President Trump sucking a ding dong. And so what if there was? That's a lot better than World War III, Owen. I never sucked any ding dongs. But I'll tell you, they were blackmailing me to start World War III about one. I'd say, hey, I sucked a golf ball through a freaking garden hose.
Okay, well, speaking of sucking golf balls or garden hoses, okay. When you go to Infowars.com, it says off air. When you try to go to band.video, which was the backup site they had for the entire cast and staff of Infowars live streaming, that is also off air. If you try and go to their store, which really pisses me off, it is off air. But thankfully, if you go to
AJN.
Yep. Alex Jones Network, alexjoneslive.com. Oh, looky, what do I got here? A 50% off coupon. Oh, goody. That means the store's back up somewhere else. Awesome. And who do I see here?
I've got my video ready for you. On the $0 thing.
The actual man. Yay. Awesome. Okay, so he's still around. He just decided that he was going to take everything else and be rid of it so that the Onion couldn't make anything too horrible of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, yay. This is still good. All right, Alex Jones on X. Listen live, watch live. Hey, shop now. What do we got here?
Scoob died again.
Dagnabbit. All right. Ooh, what do we know? What do you know? Look what we got here. Shop apparel. What do we have? T-shirts, hoodies, hats.
Pull up the video.
Oh, what do you know? He still has a shop. Oh, wow. He's actually got some decent hoodies for a change. Oh. You know, he used to not have hoodies.
Hoodies do tend to be expensive.
Yeah, well, he's pushing these for like $45. Oh, I like this one. It's got one of the Holy Orders cross. I like that.
Go to my video. It's relevant.
Sure, will do. Boom. Okay, let me see here. Where is...
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor.
Was it working?
Oh, it's lagging horrible. Start that from the beginning.
I did.
Hello, beautiful. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Hi, Anthony. How much does my discount double check save me?
About $150.
Done.
I don't have State Farm, but insurance, find me money.
I got you $1.
I got you $1.
Oh, you almost had it. You got to be quicker than that.
Having insurance isn't the same as having State Farm. There to help you with unexpected savings. That's getting to a better state.
I got you $1.
Hilarious. Oh. Well, it's a start, I suppose. $1. Oh, so it turns out that Alex Jones is still around. He's just on his backup network, so that's good. He's still going to be around. It just seems that the Onion is probably going to destroy the brand of InfoWars that they just bought, which if they do, they do. Hey, if they have an 800 number or something, I'll try and call in and prank the shit out of them. Because I can legally do that. I can totally legally do that. Especially if they're using the old studio in Austin, Texas. You know, if I remember correctly, I think Indiana and Texas are both one-party consent states. So for the most part, I could basically do like comedy bits like that DJ did that Count Dankula interviewed, who wound up crank calling people and started turning it into music. Kind of like how, what's his name? That guy that was just in court. Who had the American flag suit on, who had the through his house. Afro Man. Yeah, Afro Man. Kind of like what Afro Man did when the cops kicked in his door. You know, maybe I'll start doing stuff like that because, yeah, if that's their pilot episode, dear God, I feel a hell of a lot better about mine. Jesus. I thought I was doing bad. You know, hell. This crap looks a lot better than them. I mean, this isn't human blood. I don't have a sponsorship from State Farm or anybody, but this time around, I wound up drinking Rollin' Rock, and then I pissed through that, and I popped open some Yingling because they got.
Are you guys familiar? Or are you familiar with Brian Shapiro?
Name rings a bell. What did he do?
He's gone on to various like stuff like Tim Pool's and got the like Trump laws or like the Trump felonies are all wrong. Like, well, yeah, he constantly goes on to places like this and embarrasses himself. But
oh yeah,
are you familiar? Like, he's got the stupid hat on, and he's got like he's a ginger with a stupid hat.
Yeah,
like you'll know him when you see him. Yeah, he debated Andrew Wilson's wife.
Who the hell is Andrew Wilson?
He's a very skilled debater.
Then why did he debate his wife?
I don't know, but it was about feminism.
I don't understand.
1 second. You'll understand when I show you this video.
Okay. All right, and a 1 and a 2, and here we go.
You see it? Oh, wrong. Wait, where is it? Oh, I put it in the wrong. I'm in the wrong thing.
What?
1 second.
Can you looking at soup recipes?
I've been looking at a lot of soup recipes.
Okay. I'll have to give you the Mrs. Tomato Bisque recipe. It's actually quite damn good.
I've been looking at a lot of recipes, actually.
Nice. Yeah. To stretch out the food until I get paid, I'm basically going to be trying not to burn up the house while I make mac and cheese with the hot dog sliced in there. And the missus might let me
I've got
use
the video now this time, I promise.
Okay, you got it? All right.
Yes.
All right, so if you don't have it, the skeleton here, I'm going to let him stab you.
And we'll just watch soup recipes.
No, we're not watching soup recipes. Channel. I haven't gotten all that set up yet.
So this guy is Warren Smith. He's a former professor. He's very good about like philosophy and like analyzing debates.
All right.
So
Rachel Wilson debated Brian Shapiro, and this went very badly for him. It's also really funny.
The Johns Hopkins School of Public Health, I'll take their word over yours. They say the number one reason why women don't want to bring children into the world is something called the economy, Rachel.
See what I mean? Ginger with a stupid hat.
A little bit about the economy.
What's
real
that?
Quick. Hold on.
Yeah, he's got a driver hat.
Easily able to counter this.
You know how long the birth rate has been below replacement levels? Any idea?
I'm sorry, are you asking me a question?
Yes. During the prosperity of the early 90s, when we had one of the best economies we've had,
I'll respond.
Why was the birth rate below replacement then?
Sure. So I'll answer that, but I'll start by saying this. I don't know
Wait,
what's so
what?
funny.
The lack of self-awareness.
Back that up and kick the volume up. What the hell is he saying?
He said that it was whatever the problem is, like why we're not having kids is because of the economy. And she said like the replacement was like already low in the 90s, which is arguably when we had one of the best economies.
That is true.
I'll kick up the volume though, but I'll show you again.
Number one reason why women don't want to bring children into the world is something called the economy, Rachel. Now let's talk a little bit about the economy real quick. Hold on.
Rachel's easily able to counter this.
You know how long the birth rate has been below replacement levels? Any idea?
I'm sorry, are you asking me a question?
Yes. During the prosperity of the early 90s, when we had one of the best economies we've had,
I'll respond.
Why was the birth rate below replacement then?
Sure. So I'll answer that, but I'll start by saying this. I don't know what's so funny.
The lack of self-awareness is hilarious. Brian seems to have no idea how badly this looks.
I think you saying that makes you retarded. So first of all, to use that word and to call, no, it's not cool for her to use that word.
But I'm allowed to use that
Oh,
word.
it gets
To me,
worse.
the most funny exchange was when they start talking about the word retarded.
To say that just because we don't believe in what you believe, that people are retarded. Because,
Bro, that's retarded.
Okay, good. So let me be very clear, okay?
And Brian is using the word himself while claiming it is wrong to use. I mean, the hypocrisy here is comical.
To call people retarded because they don't believe in the religion that you believe in, or they don't believe in God, is so beyond absurd and bigoted in nature. It's ridiculous.
Is that what you're saying?
It's ridiculous. No, I think you are.
It's like the sense of humor we have with people. I love this. I'm looking at myself as a woman.
So what I was going to
where's
say,
your argument? Do you have an argument?
what I was going to say, just be quiet. Make Andrew a sandwich and be quiet. So
that's pretty misogynistic.
Throughout this whole debate, you can hear the audience laughing because it's so comically bad. And he seems to be oblivious to why they're laughing.
20 million. Andrew, do you have a cigarette? Because I need one right now. So listen.
I know it's got to be embarrassing getting your butt wet.
Andrew smokes a lot on stream.
So he claims to be fighting misogyny. But when you look at these clips, many people on the left will recoil and claim that's
smoking on stream because
misogynistic.
that's something I do. I'm still trying to get myself a good replacement smoking pipe, so I'm still using this housewarming gift, hookah, for tobacco. So
fancy.
Very fancy. This works very well. I don't know if it has an internal filter, but it's almost as good as a smoking pipe. I don't know where this came from, make a but it's actually fairly decent. You know, I'm not much into the hookah stuff and all that, but I do like some aspects of Indian culture. The Mahabharata is actually a good Star Wars-esque story without doing the drugs, if you can read it without doing drugs. But yeah, almost as good as a smoking pipe.
Sandwich, to be quiet.
You're mocking me for making arguments, and yet you want to insult everybody that disagrees with you. Let me be very clear. I support. Wait, hold on, 10 seconds.
At some
10
point,
seconds.
I have to be able
okay,
to
at some point you will. Finish the sandwich.
And this is Brian's MO. Rather than continuing with the logic, he tries to claim that your argument makes you a bad person. Essentially, just how dare you over and over again.
We've seen what happens when you try to put female law enforcement officers on the streets and on the border. It doesn't work out very well. We need men, and we rely on them to protect persons and property.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
Therefore, that's the task.
Let's talk about protecting. Let's talk about COVID for a moment. Female
pause
leaders.
that for a moment. So should I bring up the story about the meth raccoon? If he's since she's talking about how you need men for certain tasks.
Are you talking about that raccoon that got drunk or something?
No. I'll try and make this not 20 minutes like how I do every time I tell it to somebody. Okay, so a neighbor of ours, he's a mailman, and there's something that him and his wife have. I don't know. I didn't ask because I didn't want to be rude. He prefers to smoke outside, and he prefers to smoke in his vehicle. He'll just roll the windows down. You know, he does not smoke inside his house, like how I do.
Right.
And, you know, he knows I'm usually an armed person. So, and with the old job I had, I was getting home late as hell, and he'd be smoking, and it's like, every now and then he's like, "Hey, neighbor." I'm like, "Yeah, what's up, man? How you doing?" He's like, "I'm doing all right." And I'm like, "Dude, you look scared shitless. I think I got that raccoon getting into my garbage again, man. I don't want to get bit. I ain't got nothing." I'm like, "Oh, I got something. Let me go take a look-see." And I do the tactical thing to where you have your handgun, you have your flashlight like this, and there's this giant raccoon that was eating his garbage. And this was a recurring thing for about half a year, to where I'd be chasing the raccoon out of his garbage every other day, or at least twice a week. And I'd be trying to chase the thing down to get a good shot. But because the training I had from, the Illinois carry permit class and all that stuff, I was like, okay, I can't just shoot wildly because I'm going to put bullet holes in my neighbors' houses, and that's bad.
And that's a felony.
That's a felony. Yeah, that is a felony. Yes. Don't get arrested. Don't put bullet holes in your neighbors' houses when you're trying to get the damn raccoon. Because this thing's fatter than my cat's, and, it's running all over the place. I'm like, I can't get a good shot off. So at one point in time in the future, like about 7 months from then, the missus goes to go feed the cats. We had some outdoor cats we were doing the TNR with, so that we could cut down on the feral cat population and use them to, keep the meth gophers away, or the rabid gophers, whatever the hell it was. I'll have the missus tell you that story later. So we're having the cats outside. She goes and gets a plate of cat food together, and then she doesn't have her glasses on, so she thinks it's one of our bigger cats. She's like, "All right, come here, kitty, 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 kitty," and this thing stands up, and it's just like,
big honking raccoon,
huge raccoon, and she's like, "Oh hell no!" Drops the food down, runs inside, and is like, "Honey, it's Rocky, the meth raccoon." And I'm like, "Oh hell no!" So I get the handgun, I get dressed and everything, get myself together, and I go out there, and this thing.
You're just gone out in your underwear.
Practically no, I had pants on. I think I was shirtless though. I was shirtless, but I gotten out of the shower, so I got my glasses, pants on, and everything. I don't remember throwing on a t-shirt, but I had flip-flops on, or I had sandals on, or something. And I grabbed my handgun, and I'm chasing this thing around my own yard. And I wound up firing off a few rounds. So it's like, okay, I see where this thing is going. If I hit anything that isn't the raccoon, it's my own property, and I'm not going to take a claim out on myself. So I attempt to shoot the raccoon, and I hit all my trees. At the base of all my trees. I put 9mm holes in like 4 of my trees, and I'm like, okay, all right, that's fine. And then I'm chasing this thing around. I lose sight of it. And then what winds up happening is the missus is like, "What's going on?" I'm like, "I missed. I'm about to empty the damn magazine. I haven't hit the damn thing. And she's like, well, what do you want? It was just like, well, what are we going to do? And I'm like, I don't know, get the shotgun or something. You know, and I go and check the magazine, and I hear this thing creeping around again. And I get the flashlight in my mouth, and I'm like trying to like, you know,
sight in and
yeah, I'm trying to do all that without, you know, doing anything ridiculous like discharging negligently, which I thankfully didn't do. And yeah, I scare the thing away for about 30 minutes. She gets my AK-47, and I go ahead and put the handgun away, you know, put the safety on, and that, hand it back to her. She gives me the AK, and I'm like, I'm waiting there for 10 minutes for this raccoon, and I'm like, all right, well, where the hell is it? And then I think I see it coming here and there, and this thing literally starts like playing tag with me.
Yeah,
it's screwing with me. Like it's popping out, seeing if it can get the remnants of the cat food in that. The cats are like hiding underneath the porch, you know, or you know, wherever. And
you're protecting them.
Yeah, I'm protecting the cats. I'm protecting the cat food because this thing's huge and it's probably going to eat the kittens. So I'm protecting my kittens, and I fire a few rounds off. I hit my trees again and a bush. You know, I hit dirt and tree, and I'm like, all right, you know what? This is bullshit. Screw this cat. Screw this thing. I'm going back inside. So I get inside, and she's like, hey, I have an idea. I'm like, all right, what's your idea? She's like, well, we got some chicken from Drew Lasco. Yeah, we just ate most of that. How about I set some bones out, and I try and make a food trap because it's hungry. You know what? That's not a bad idea. Hey, you go do that. I'll go sight in the AK and everything because I hit the tree when I should have hit it. You know? So get all the ammo in it, sight in and everything, do all that stuff with the little laser bullet thing and John Wick and what have you. And she sets the chicken out. We wait about 30 minutes. She goes and drags some of the bones away in that. And then we wait another 20 minutes. And I get the thing loaded, get it all set up, rack one into the chamber and everything, go out there. And there it is. It's right there where the bones were. And it's sniffing around like, okay, where's the food? Where's the food? I smell the food. Where's the food? And I shoot the thing. And I thought I missed it first because this thing just shrugs and it runs off. A raccoon was large enough that I shot it with
an AK.
Yeah, with an AK-47, 5 feet from me, 7.62 by 39 Tula hollow point. Pop the thing within about 5-10 feet of me, and this thing just shrugs and runs off. And she's like about ready to string him. She's like, how do you miss? How do you miss at the range? I'm like, dude, I don't know, man. I don't know, honey. I'm sorry. I guess I must really suck at this. And then I like put the safety on. I go into the yard, and I'm looking around, and I'm like, wait, I didn't miss. She's like, how are you sure? And I'm like, look, there's blood. And she's like, all right, let me grab the flashlight. And she gets the flashlight, and then we're following the blood trail. And then she's like, wait a minute, that's going over into the yard where we got all the trees and everything. And I'm like, yeah, if we shoot our trees, it's fine. She's like, yeah, but it's a wounded creature, and this is probably a meth raccoon like the realtor was warning us about. If we can't see it, but it can see us, we're going to get tore up and you wind up shooting yourself in the foot or something, or that's going to take your foot off. And I went, you know what? Yeah, we shot it. Okay, it's fine. I'm pretty sure one bullet's going to kill it. And then we find it 3 days later.
Was dead?
Yeah, it was dead. We found it. We chopped it out. We chopped around the brush, and it was too decayed to go ahead and try and bury the thing properly. So I just gave it a mob funeral by lighting it on fire. And then thankfully enough, when not too long after we lit that thing on fire, the stench basically like got everyone to go look outside and go, what the hell is that? And our mailman neighbor was coming out to have us look. He's like, hey, neighbor. And I'm like, yo, dude, hey, we got it. And he's like looking down. Oh, Lord Almighty, what is that? And I'm like, that's Rocky. Don't worry. You can smoke in peace now. We smoked the raccoon. And he's like, I hope you're not going to eat it. Oh, no, it's going to explode into a million pieces if we try and shovel it and bury it and all that because it's been here a few days. And he starts laughing and lights up a cigarette.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, yeah. For giant raccoons.
Yeah, let's.
Suddenly he throws in COVID into the mix, and it is a little laughable. It's just like, what are you doing?
COVID. Okay, sure. Tell me how
Why
this
are you laughing at COVID? Millions of people died of
it.
COVID.
Had better tie back to feminism.
This is that modality I was describing. It's just like, how dare you? How dare you is not an argument.
Why are you laughing?
We're debating feminism, and
you think
you're
COVID's
bringing
funny?
up. I think it has nothing to do with feminism.
Okay, well, why don't you shut up and let me finish and make him a sandwich again and
Are
let
you
me
mad?
finish.
Oh my dear, he just told a woman to shut up and make a sandwich, while arguing against misogyny. I guess it's okay when he does it.
The only point that I was trying to make was that women that were in these positions during that time during COVID saved lives, and they did a better job than men.
How do you know the women did a better job than men? What are you basing that on? What are you comparing it to? How do you know what job the men would have done?
So let me ask you a question. Do you want us to look like a third world country? Is that what you want?
In the COVID's time were the warehouse managers, because they had to sort all the paperwork and they had to print all the labels and they had to make sure that all the expiration dates were correct and went, okay, this is going out today. Don't screw this up. And the whole rest of us went, okay, man, you got it. You know?
Yeah.
Women are great at
No.
You don't want that. Okay.
Explain.
Well,
I think in his mind, he genuinely thinks like, yeah, I've got her right where I want her. Some of the conversations happening around AI right now are a little concerning. They're planning to, how much do you add your privacy? Images even more. The big word, this is definitely not AI.
Narrative.
So it's either progressive.
Shouldn't be doing these specific things.
What
I don't
did
want to look like.
What specific things?
I don't want to
did I
look like
say?
Afghanistan. You are pushing.
I didn't say that.
You are pushing a narrative.
So it's either progressive liberal enlightenment or it's Sharia law in Afghanistan.
Then it just falls apart.
You've spent all the time
In your
talking
book-
about Trump and
This is quite the debate,
COVID
isn't it?
and all kinds
Well,
of
yeah,
places.
because I gave you examples of women in government
And
that I
you've
thought did a
still
good
not
job.
He's very much deflecting because he just doesn't know what he's talking about.
I can tell.
But it just gets worse.
made a single compelling argument.
Actually, I did. They saved lives, and obviously you don't care about that.
There's another example. Obviously, you don't care about saving lives.
Did you say in your book that Miley Cyrus, Cardi B, Katy Perry, Beyonce, because they stick their tongue out, they're invoking some Hindu goddess and they hate men?
And then he just takes a sharp right turn into Hindu gods or something and women sticking their tongues out. I don't know.
I didn't say that.
In your book, you were talking about invoking the Hindu goddess because they stick their tongue out.
Did you read the book?
That must mean I want to kill men too. I
Did
don't
you
know.
read the book? Because you said you were.
Does it mean when Vishnu takes female form?
I don't know.
I know.
I don't know. I've never read the book.
Neither have I, but I know a little bit about some of the Hindu deities.
Mm-hmm.
Vishnu, it's the blue deity. Normally, that there's only like a few to where Vishnu will take a female form, be sexualized, and then like stick her tongue out and everything. But most of that was, I think, I'm not sure at what point, like if it's the end of the Mahabharata, but for the Hindu gods, there's this marita, I think is what the material or the mineral is called. It's like it's basically like the spice melange for the Hindu deities. And it's very rare and very limited. And it became like a problem to where, okay, we're running out of it. All right, well, how much are we running out of? We're running out of all of it. There's like one very hard spot where there's some of it left, but we're going to have to like work with our enemies. Wait, you mean we're going to have to work with the demons? Yeah, we're literally going to have to work with the demons. And the Hindu gods basically made a peace treaty with their Hindu adversaries. And they all basically operated some giant, practically galactic-sized hand mill. Like, you know how you normally have windmills that will grind down like wheat and flour and stuff? They basically had to make one of those, but they turned it into a fucking drill and a siphon of sorts so that they could get this marita out of whatever the source of this was. And it was massive. And when they got just about all of it out, the Hindu gods basically went and had a wink and a nod, and Vishnu went, all right, yeah, this is the plan. Because they had promised that when we all work together, we're going to split the marita 50-50. So you get to live an extended life and be almost immortal, and we do too. But what happened is Vishnu went ahead and transformed himself into a very sexual female and was all like, and everything, which got the demons to basically just go, oh, mama, those knockers there. And while they were distracted briefly by Vishnu sexualizing herself, they just stole the whole rest of the marita, and then they wound up having like a giant religious war over it because they, got conned.
ChatGPT? Sure. Because that's not what I said.
Now we take a left turn to the Bible. Why? Well, let's see.
You believe in the Bible, right? And God killed 2.4 million people in the Bible. Is that oppressive? I don't know.
I believe in Orthodox Christianity, and I'm not going to get into a Bible debate with you because it's beyond the scope of this.
So we only got a couple minutes left.
Show me where. So do you have an argument? Tell me how feminism has improved the lives of women and children when I just opened with all these statistics proving that
I'll use your argument because I want to move on to one other thing, but I'll just use the argument that you used 20 minutes ago. It's retarded.
And he still has not made any actual arguments. Now, Rachel has brought statistics, logical points, historical facts, and when presented with these, this is how Brian responds.
What's retarded?
There's
Feminism?
a lot of problems. There's
Feminism
a lot of,
is
okay, so hold on.
retarded?
There's a lot of problems in
So
this
he
country.
agrees with me?
I think we all know. Okay, there's a
You
lot
didn't
of.
answer the
there's a lot-
question.
I'm
How has-
finished. Hold on. We have 3 minutes left here. I'm talking about your ideology
What's
and the
my
reason
ideology?
why
What's
I
it
think you've
called?
made it very clear to everybody what your
Patriarchy.
ideology
Yes,
is. I think it's very
patriarchy.
clear what you think women should be doing. Listen, as I've said,
Having families with good men who protect them and take care of them, yes, I think that's great.
and what if a
Are
woman?
you against that?
And what? Absolutely not.
And this is where things kind of go off the rails. I'm sure he thinks this is a winning strategy, but it backfires.
But there are women out there, 30s, 40s, that haven't found the right man.
Well, is it that they haven't found the right man, or is it that they've been through about 50 men and haven't wanted to lock any of them down?
Talk about yourself like that, Rachel.
I've been with a handful, like less than 5. So
This part's really sad.
Don't go down this road, Brian. This is a mistake.
no, I'm
Without
talking
feminism,
about,
you would not
I'm
have been allowed
talking
to break up with those men,
I
right?
didn't.
Would you agree with that?
I didn't.
You weren't married to any other men?
I was, but I
Okay.
didn't initiate
100 years
divorce.
ago, you wouldn't have been able to divorce them, right?
I didn't divorce them. I was abandoned by an abusive person.
Okay, so 100 years ago, you wouldn't have been able to.
Yes,
You wouldn't have been able to be abandoned 100 years ago. Okay.
you would have.
See what I mean?
This guy's just a dick.
Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you're a radio host and abuse the mute button.
Oh, absolutely.
Just told you that in the year 1900, 55,700 divorces were granted to women who were in abusive marriages. So yes, I would have. And by the way, one more thing.
Disagree.
I would be able to be here without feminism. This is a very stupid, silly rebuttal. Yes.
it's not stupid
Mary
at all.
Wollstonecraft, yes, the anti-suffragists were having public debates against suffragists in 1848, you dumbass.
I understand.
We are now reaching the end, and still Brian has not made any arguments that I can observe.
He is ignorant and doesn't know his history.
Yeah.
I hate to do this, but we really do have to transition. I hate to do it, but we do have to, as we are limited on time, as we've already gone.
She called me a dumbass,
overtime
but okay, go ahead.
For the cross section.
And Rachel did a good job of summarizing this entire interaction in her closing argument.
Don't be a male feminist like this. Don't be this emotionally incontinent, just going all over on a tangent, unable to control your thoughts, unable to control your emotions, just spewing and vomiting emotional appeals to people in the middle of a professional debate, bringing up dead children, bringing up your abusive ex-husband. Be the kind of person who can actually handle getting up here and having an argument, making an argument, sticking to the topic, controlling yourself. And the fact that I, a housewife from the Midwest with no college degrees, no professional training, am better able than him to do that, just shows you this is the kind of men that feminism has produced, and this is why society is all messed up.
That's a pretty good jab.
Mm-hmm.
Where do I sign up for that?
Good question.
Jesus, no, if that's the caliber of morons they have to deal with, sure. Why not?
But yeah, imagine, since you don't know who her husband is, imagine how good of a debater he is.
I'd imagine fairly better, but her restraint is good, and as well as her like cracking jokes at him for Jesus. The craziest person I had to deal with was Mad Cow. He was a radio host that was known for being a bit out there. But as nuts as he wasn't as unstable as this guy to where it's, okay, I'm going to just extrapolate into extremes that don't tie together and try and make nonsensical arguments. You know, the guy's not going off of logic. The guy's not tying anything together. He's trying to go. This just reminds me of all the things that I detest about the young generations, to where there's no grounding, there's no reality, there's no objective reality, God forbid. And it's just, you're dealing in all sorts of absurdities and extremities.
Yeah.
Is their general problem. to where they're like, oh my God, if you don't just blindly agree with the ever-changing amorphous blob, then, you are Hitler or something like that, and everyone's rushing to try and throw each other under the bus because they have to be the number one douchebag in charge of whatever the shit show is.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, not a fan of that at all. No.
Yeah.
No, morals.
I found that Brian Shapiro is just really not good at debates. He thinks he's good, but he's really not.
That guy's
he's popular probably because he when he does his quote unquote debates, it's like on his terms and he has power over the mute button. And
oh, how lovely! So when
he just deals with people who are far less skilled than him.
Jesus. That's part of the reason why I usually don't get into debates with too many atheistic people.
Mm-hmm.
Here, let me give a fair shot.
At this point, I'm not as sharp as I used to be, for debates.
Well, in my opinion, most debates are usually bupkiss anyways, but that's just me. All right, let's see here. Who's this gentleman? Okay, so there's this one atheist guy that I've talked to that's actually fairly civilized. He goes by the alias of Taco, like an actual food taco.
Okay.
And his big whole thing is, well, I'm an atheist, and he had a whole bunch of troubles because the poor guy was risen in something worse than what the heck do they call themselves? The snake dancing people.
Mm-hmm.
The Pentecosts. He lived in an environment worse than the Pentecosts, where everything written in the Bible is 100%, and you've got 100% believe it. Everything's like uber autistically literal. Not figurative, but literal. And it drove the poor dude nuts, and then he became a better man coming out of it after he got some professional help in that and said, you know what, I'm not about this religious stuff. And then he decided to do a debate series, and it's like, wow, this guy, unlike every other one of these scumbags I've run into, is just like, okay, here's these bullet points of these things that I want to ask you. And it's like, okay. I watched Scoob go on with them, and Scoob did horrible because he's just horrible with debates. And he's just like, well, I'm going to tell you my life story, and that's about it. And he's like, I guess he hasn't dealt with Dagos before. So he's like, why is it taking you 20 minutes to answer a single question that of which you haven't even answered at all? And I was like, I could Google a couple fallacies and throw these to this guy, but he's actually being pretty civilized. So, hey, not bad. So, yeah, props to Taco for being better than this ginger moron, when it comes to being eccentric.
And in general with debating religion, it's really not something you can debate.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Entirely about who quotes scripture better.
Usually, yeah, which is why I think South Park did that episode for Charlie Kirk, where there was the master debater, which I thought was actually relatively humorous. I still have to try and watch that and not have to go to the bathroom every 3 or 5 minutes. But yeah, I usually don't get into too many debates with people about that stuff because it's like, First Amendment. What the hell am I supposed to tell you? My religion says I can't beat you over the head with it. So
Charlie loved the episode. It's a shame he's gone.
Yeah, I wanted to interview that guy at some point in the future because I'm used to so many people of his generation just being a bunch of nihilistic communist degenerates that don't even speak proper English, and they speak in
tongue.
Some type of sub-mimetic slang that I don't understand.
Like I did earlier.
Yes. Yeah. Like how you did earlier. And I was like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. And you're like, meta. Meta what? Meta the company? No, meta is a metaphor for something or other, A slang term for something that I don't understand. Yeah. Because just these children have not been educated in the proper English language, or they just are in environments where it's like, why should I use the proper English language if my friends don't use the proper English language?
Skibbity.
Basically, yes. Pretty much what I call them, the skibbity generation. Whereas young Charlie Kirk was very well spoken, spoke proper fucking English.
He was millennial. I'm pretty sure.
I thought he was younger.
He was the same age as me.
Okay. All right. So he's a millennial. He's one of them Z kids. All the same, even as millennials, it's the one problem I even fall into with the millennial generation. It's just it's like, wow, you guys are just it's hard to talk to a lot of them. They chose weakness. They chose worshiping the government. They chose wanting to be nihilistic and self-destructive, and then wonder why they're not getting anywhere. Like our genocidal sky wizard, as I comically call God, is supposed to magically deliver from themselves, and it's like, no, you're supposed to actually apply knowledge and improve yourself and your circumstance.
And then there's me.
Yeah. Well, you're a Marine. You can actually you adapt, you adapt, and you overcome. The Marines were not made to fail, man. Oh God.
Oh, Nux has a video on Mark by now.
Probably. Oh God, I'm gonna have to take a bathroom break on that before we get into that one. I probably will urinate this costume. Oh God. Before we go to that, if he actually has one. One of the last topics that I did want to get into, because I found this one interesting, was the Department of Justice making another benchmark case or a star case or whatever you want to call it. It's something that sets precedent.
Oh, yeah, there was the SPLC thing.
Yeah, we covered that last week. Oh, boy. They're definitely getting whacked around with that one, which I'm very much waiting for that to get further because I'd like to know the depths of all the crap they were doing. Because the one thing that I did not like about the Southern Poverty Law Center, like I discussed last week, is I was taking the bus to D.C., I had the costume and everything ready in that, and I'm having a decent conversation with this guy. Because he's just like, he's giving me the Murdoch parable.
Okay.
Which, for people that aren't familiar with it, I'm probably, it's probably not called that, but that's what I've called it in comedy. Is in the Murdoch cartoon, the main characters are basically populists, nationalist, socialist-esque people, but they're parody characters of like the super ethnocentric, alt-right and what have you. And they're always on these radical anime-esque quests for one thing or another. And it's actually a good, humorous series that will even make fun of itself. And they have on a couple episodes. And there's one episode that comes out to where one of the main characters, who's the anime guy, kind of like how you and me are, Murdoch, goes ahead and goes, all right, well, I have to meet all these qualifications for trying to make a new ideology. Okay, I've got to kill a communist. And he goes into a park and he tries to assassinate a communist, and he ends up shooting a black guy by accident. So he rushes him to the hospital, and it's just hilarity from there. It's a whole bunch of misadventures, but he saves the guy's life. And since then, routinely every now and again in the series, winds up saving various black people from other black people who are trying to rob or hurt them. And he hands out pamphlets for good guy National Socialism. It's just like, I'm just here to help. Oh, by the way, let me get that Reagan for you, ma'am, and get him out of the way so you can get to the grocery store. And beats him with a baseball bat and just kicks him out of the way so this elderly black woman can get in and out of the grocery store. And he entertains that, and I'm like, yeah, that's a fairly decent argument. The main thing with as far as to why that hasn't taken off is too many people decide they want to get arrested. Too many people decide they want to do stupid stuff, And I told them about doing CAPS patrols and covering up gang graffiti and that. And I was like, yeah, you could do the Murdoch good guy thing. Yeah, absolutely. Just there's not a lot of places where you can do that and not get arrested, And at the time, companies like Right to Bear weren't really kicking off, and the USCCA was popular, but nobody had really taken them to test yet. So I was like, we had a good debate about it. And then when we got further into DC, it's like every other person we ran into who had a mismatching suit or something was kind of doing the same thing. And I'm like, okay, one guy on the bus, sure. I find it strange. I'm running into 15 people who are all wearing suits, and Scoob's like, hey, I think these guys are federal agents. Well, how can you tell, Scoob? His shoes don't match. His pants don't match. That guy's tie's crooked. And I was like, actually, yeah, you're right. If these guys really were Murdoch fans, they'd be wearing Murdoch rock t-shirts. Because they advertise like AC/DC style shirts for the TV show. Well, internet TV, but same difference. They had to bounce around a lot because they kept getting banned.
Right.
So I was like, okay, there's something up here. And then with the Southern Poverty Law Center getting sued, it's like, yeah, Unite the Right, they went and put money into that. The Aryan Nation, they put money into that. The Knights of the Ku Klux Klan, they put money into that. And I was like, that explains why I ran into so many people who want to try and tell me that they're Murdoch fans, but they can't really quote me an episode. Whereas, the one I just quoted you was a single episode, It's one of my favorites because I'm just like, you missed the actual communist and you shot the guy in the park trying to feed the ducks. And then thankfully you save him just in time, which is hilarious. And the whole time, this poor guy in the episode is like, I'm going to die. I'm going to die. These people are doing racist stuff. I'm going to die. And he's like, no, we're going to get to the hospital. Dr. Murdoch, get him to the hospital. Okay, we're almost there. Oh, no, it's black due to a riot or something. I'm like, I couldn't make it that far in because I was dying of laughter. But yeah, might be because the Southern Poverty Law Center was deciding to fund people. Yeah. And they're like scouting for scapegoats that they could use.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found that to be very interesting. And in the case of the Department of Justice, once again, striking down not ethnocentric nonsense, they struck down that, while yes, there are people that are minorities that live in various areas. Anyone that looks at Gary, Indiana is going to know, yes, there's a lot of minorities there. Yes.
Yeah, it's like you hear the court case and it's like, why are they stripping these communities of their voice? And then you actually look at the map.
Yeah. Yeah, like the thing that they did with Virginia to where they basically tried to make it like 90% Democrat just because we're going to gerrymander like the state of Illinois.
Yeah, I had a couple of my friends I was talking in Discord with, and they were talking about it, and I was like, I didn't say anything, but I was just like, they are so wrong on this.
Yeah, that's why I don't have too many friends in my age bracket, just because too many of them, controversy is a sin, even if it's nothing radical like Murdoch. But yeah, the Supreme Court said that, okay, on the basis of ethnicity, everyone's equal. That's what the Constitution, the Bill of Rights is for. You're born here or you're naturalized here or you've found some path to citizenship. Okay, you're a citizen. You're represented. End of story. So all the special maps that they made to where majorities are considered basically almost like how the Democratic Party has the super delegates. They're like, yeah, we're not doing that anymore. You're going to have to redraw everything and go off of a general, okay, people live here. Well, what's their actual politics? Are they Democrat or are they Republican more often than not? There's one thing Timmy pointed out is like, yeah, if you've got two different black people that are neighbors to each other, comically like how you had in Murdoch, where you have the mailman, the granny that's shopping, and the guy that runs the delivery service, and then your BLM terrorist. All of them are of different politics, and they just so happen to live on the same block as Murdoch, Dr. Murdoch, and Murdoch Chan. Yeah, you've got 4, 5, 6 different sets of politics there. How are you going to represent that? It's basically like they told them, saying, okay, all you people are going to have to go and redraw your maps, and you're going to have to go ahead and sort this out because you can't just say, okay, because this person is one race or another, they have to be in this party or another. No, we're not doing that. Let's see here. I think I have a tab on that. Let's see here.
Get yourself vertical tabs. It'll change your life.
That makes me curious if StreamYard would actually work with... Oh, wait. StreamYard does work in a vertical tab method.
I'm literally using vertical tabs.
I'd have to screen share to show you how it comes up here. But yeah, I have... all my tabs are organized vertically in that similar fashion. It's just that they have the symbol for the tab and then, okay, the topic that's in there. So I had to scroll down to find the one that is right here for the SCOTUS blog because I want to try and get something that was unbiased if possible. So here we go.
SCOTUS is biased. It's 6 conservative justices, right?
Yeah, I mean, there is truly a bias there. But as far as the decision that they've made, it's considered, I would argue it's considered unbiased because though they will have their biases for making the decision, this is why we have them into the.
I know you're explaining it to the audience, but I was joking.
Yeah. Oh, okay, Jesus. Okay, Jesus. I was gonna start, freaking out and looking for that ginger with the damn driver hat and reaching for this guy's bayonet to go fend him off. So, all right, let me try and make a logical explanation for you almost got me there. Okay.
Too bad Scoob's not here.
Yeah, he kept having trouble. It is what it is. These things happen. Okay.
Let's misbehave while he's gone.
Yeah, we have to try and behave while he's gone. Yeah. Supreme Court on Wednesday in the case of Louisiana versus Calais, I think is how you pronounce that, like the town in France, struck down a Louisiana congressional map that a group of voters who described themselves as, quote, non-African American, end quote, had challenged as the product of unconstitutional racial gerrymandering. By a vote of 6-3, the justices left in place a ruling by a federal court that barred the state from using the map, which had created a second majority black district. In future elections, although Wednesday's ruling did not strike down a key provision of the Federal Voting Rights Act, as Louisiana and the challengers had asked the court to do, Justice Elena Kagan suggested in her dissent, which was joined by Justices Sonia Sotomayor and Ketanji Brown Jackson, that majority opinion by Justice Samuel Alito has...
Little sidebar, but have you seen all the memes about how Justice Jackson just doesn't shut up?
Does she ever?
Like, she speaks more than all the other justices combined.
To a degree, I can understand the justice being very angry, but your job as a part of the Supreme Court is you have to go ahead. Yes, you are allowed to be emotional, but just like that fucking stupid ginger and his stupid fucking hat, you have to make factual arguments, and you have to center on, okay, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution. What state does this apply? What is their state constitution? Are they violating any rights? You can be angry, but you have to be factual in your arguments, which is why...
Well, justices aren't exactly making an argument. They're trying to, like, seek the truth, so to speak.
Well, seeking the truth is a very important thing.
But you don't have to ask that many questions.
I would hope not. I would think it would be unnecessary. If I might say so, you should not have to be unabashedly, aggressively, angrily autistic with questions. You want to get to the truth. You want to get to the facts. You want to see, okay, is this violating the law? Is this not violating the law? And break it down as relatively simple as possible, because not all of us were a part of the Bar Association, okay?
Not all of us have college degrees.
Yeah, not all of us have college degrees. I have a bachelor's degree in animation. That's all I got. I don't know. The only reason I know anything about law is because I decided I was going to get my carry permit. And that's how I basically got introduced to law.
How's that animation degree going for you?
Not bad, actually. I mean, now that I've got this drive here, I can do more things. I'm glad that the virtual tuber thing is taken off, but the work that it takes to go ahead and make a fully rendered model with all the rigging and all that stuff, that's something I could have tried to do, but I would have been a starving artist for years on end. And I'd be more miserable.
I was going to say, you're actually trying that? Or...
Yeah, no, it was what I had wanted to do when I had gotten my bachelor's degree is I wanted to go ahead and do like environment design. Like, okay. That's the main thing I wanted to do, because they gave me a whole bunch of different projects and like, hey, design something. And I really liked how textures work, as you couldn't tell by the crap I keep doing. And they gave me Photoshop to work with for a couple different things. Like, okay, hey, make me something for a movie. And I was like, okay, hey, I really like doing this. This is actually really fun. I like doing that, you know? And then I seen how difficult it was to make a character. And it's like, yeah, I can't get this done in a month. I need half a year to get this done the way I want it to be good. They're like, all right, well, then don't work on the character. Work on where the character is going to be. And I did that very well. And I wanted to do that. And then, regrettably, everyone decided gay tranny porn was the thing to be. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. Oh, God. And regrettably, I have to take a bathroom break.
I can, I've got one lined up, but I've got a fun little leaflet video.
All right, cool. Before I go ahead and take a leak, then let me go and pull that up because I gotta use the can, man.
Yep. 1 second.
Anytime now. Oh,
Is
come
it
on,
the
man.
right-
My bladder's
Oh,
gonna
I
burst.
know where it
My
is.
bladder's gonna
Just
burst.
go to
Come
the
on,
bathroom.
man.
Just go to the bathroom. I got it up and running.
Oh, Christ.
You can look into making a sort of intermission card.
Yeah, I'll have to do that. I just was in the middle of it, and then my bladder started kicking me. I was like, yeah.
Situation is where Scoob is unavailable, and I have no idea what I'm doing.
It's fine.
But yeah, I got it locked in.
Next time I have to piss like a racehorse, I'll be sure to absolutely use that. Jesus. Okay. Now that I'm not having to liquidate the contents of my bladder, let me try and finish that. Okay, where did I have it here? There we go. Anyways, joined by Justice.
It is called University is a Scam.
Surrendered the provision, all but a dead letter. Decision was the latest, presumably final chapter in a long running dispute from Louisiana's efforts to adopt a new congressional map in the wake of the 2020 census. First map the state adopted in 2022 had one majority black district of the 6 allotted to the state. A group of black voters who compromised roughly 1/3 of the state's population went to federal court, where they alleged the map violated the Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which prohibits discrimination in voting. Federal judge agreed that in 2002, a map likely violated Section 2 in the U.S. Court of Appeals, the Fifth Circuit, pulled that ruling, instructed Louisiana to draw a new map as of January 24, or first court adopted one for it. Oh boy, yeah, you don't want Alito making you a map. You're probably not going to like it. All right, map that Louisiana drew created a second major black district, leading to election in November of the year of Cleo Fields, former member of Congress who represented another majority black district during the 1990s. The map also prompted the lawsuit leading to Wednesday's opinion. It was filed by a group of non-African American voters who contended that the 24 map violated the constitutional equal protection clause by sorting voters based on race. 3-judge federal district court agreed to them and barred the state from using the 24 map in future elections. Provided Supreme Court temporarily paused ruling till May of 24. The Supreme Court took the case and heard oral arguments for the first time as of March 25, defending the 22 map. Louisiana contended that once lower courts determined that the 22 map was likely invalid and ordered it to adopt a new map, the second majority black district focused not on race but on creating a map that would protect the state's powerful Republican incumbents in Congress, such as Speaker of the House Mike Johnson and Representative Julia Letlow, who sits on the House Appropriations Committee. The, quote, non-African American voters challenged the 24 map, told Justice it was, quote, utterly implausible, end quote, that both race and politics were equally responsible for the 24 map. In a departure from their normal practice, the justice did not issue a decision in the case for their summer recess last year. Instead, they issued a brief order setting the case for a second argument in the fall. The later instructed the litigations file a new briefing address, whether that, quote, the state's intentional creation of the second majority-minority, okay, congressional district violates, quote, the 14th Amendment, the 15th Amendment, which bars the government from denying or restricting voter rights based on race. By the time Justice heard the second round of oral arguments in October, the black voters were the only litigants who continued to defend the 24 map. Louisiana and the, quote, non-African American, end quote, voters contended the race-based redistricting is unconstitutional, even if it is done to comply with Section 2. Although the Trump admin did not contend that the justices should strike down Section 2 altogether, it urged justice to uphold the three-judge district court decision. And a 36-page opinion, Christ. God, Alito, can you type? Explain, quote, the Constitution almost never permits the federal government or a state to discriminate on the basis of race, end quote. Question before the court, he said, is, quote, whether compliance with the Voter Rights Acts should be added to our very short list of compelling interests that can justify racial discrimination, end quote. Okay. Say General or Alito wrote Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act guarantees voters, including minority voters, an opportunity to cast a vote for their preferred candidate. The candidate's chance of success may be affected by the choices that the state is allowed to make, drawing redistricting maps, such as desire to protect incumbent or increase the number of seats held by a particular political party. And under the Constitution, Alito continued, a violation of Section 2 only occurs when, quote, the circumstances give rise to a strong inference that intentional discrimination occurred, end quote. For example, when there are several possible maps that contain majority-minority districts, but the state, quote, cannot provide a legitimate reason for rejecting those maps, end quote. It'll next turn to the legal standard known as Gingell's test, based on the 1986 Thornburg versus Gingell's. That court used to determine whether map violates Section 2 by diluting minority voting power. The majority's interpretation of Section 2, Alito said, quote, does not require abandonment, end quote, of that test. Instead, he stressed the courts only need to, quote, update the framework so it aligns with the statutory text and reflects important developments since we decided Gingell's 40 years ago, end quote. Jesus. Okay, this is one hell of a read. All right.
SCOTUS for you.
Yeah. Okay, so the simple on that is they can't, as far as I understand it, they cannot discriminate on the basis of race, but they also cannot go ahead and use that to go ahead and draw a map and say, well, because these people just so happen to be of this ethnicity, they're going to be one direction or the other.
Right.
They have to go ahead and draw these maps on who's actually voting, who's actually registered, stuff like that, if I'm understanding it correctly. They just can't assume. My God. Alrighty. Well, if you want, we can play this music video, and then we can get into the final topic, which is the ATF's new head.
Okay.
All right. Playing music video. You're up.
Is it up?
Yep, it's up. I got it. Should be working.
So she's doing a lot of parodies on the sort of Japanese idol, or like pop idol scene.
Okay.
And this is how a lot of these music videos go and how the music sounds. So it's very generic.
That explains why
it's
this
meant
one.
to be.
Okay, that explains why this one's sounding like an anime intro instead of a rock video like the last few.
Yep. And of course it's AI.
Yay. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, no shit.
What was that?
No, where she talked about liberal arts degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Wind up being unemployed. Yes, that I would argue is a statistical fact, because the one thing that I noticed when before I switched up schools, I really wound up going to ITT Tech because I was an idiot. And the one thing I thought was interesting was they had a department over at Orland Park, if I remember correctly, in that school to where, okay, hey, these are what they would call survival jobs until you actually graduate and get a real job. And I'm like, what the hell? And it was basically a whole bunch of crappy Craigslist ads and stuff from Monster for just general retail stuff. And most of us that were applying for those were like, yeah, we can't even qualify for this shit. What the hell? You know? And then we later found out from a major lawsuit that, yeah, all of that was indeed a scam because it was a for-profit college. The ITT Technical Institute, for everyone that wasn't going into criminal justice, had a horrible ratio of, okay, getting an actual job. And then, yes, as they stated, yes, being deeply in debt. So whoever was basically in B- and under was pretty well screwed. And I pretty much sat at the B or the C+, because I had to have an actual part-time job at the dollar store and go to there at the same time. So yeah, they're not bullshitting on that. I can attest to that myself.
Listen to me, all the graduates. University will destroy your life.
As she farts out hearts from her ass. That's hilarious.
What was that?
As she farts out hearts from her ass. That's hilarious.
自分で作ろうそうだった今すぐ起業しようか借金ゼロで人生スタートみんなで一緒に夢を叶えようキラショー
But yeah, her stuff is meant to be cringe, so
I do like that. That's actually humorous as hell. And that's actually relatively true, too. Yeah, the fact that, Jesus, the ITT Technical Institute and the Illinois Institute of Art and the National Art Institute wound up being brought to court and wound up being they had their accreditation taken from them. And they also wind up having to refund everyone for the money that they spent on the loans and tuition and everything because it was able to be proven.
Those debts have to be paid.
Yeah, the debts have to be paid. And I mean, to be fair, the education that I got there was at least relatively useful because it gave me the base skills to run this crappy company. It took me a good minute to actually get to the point where I could start doing it. But all the same, yeah, this was basically what you get from, okay, you didn't graduate there with top honors. You took a little bit longer to handle your core classes, but you graduated with your B-. You narrowly escaped the C+. And, yeah, because of just most of the people that they were taking as far as environment designs, they're like, yeah, as far as buildings and that, we use other methods for that. And we mainly want gay children, transgender men. And I was like, I'm not a Cubs fan. Why would you want me to do this stuff? And they're like, oh, so you're just a racist. It's like, no, I'm a White Sox fan. I'm actually from Chicago. And I whip out the ID and I go, oh, no, you're just racist. Whatever. I was like, screw you guys then. When that basically became the whole thing with a lot of companies, it basically was like, all right, well, we can in court show that this is a Ponzi scheme, which is why ITT Tech isn't around anymore, and as well as the Art Institute. DeVry actually had a lot of trouble. The only thing that saved them was, ironically enough, their criminal justice program, because everyone still needs policemen, and they need to at least educate policemen and detectives and people that do general, like, criminal law. Because you have to know, okay, if you're going to prosecute someone, you actually have to properly prosecute them. You can't just throw a bunch of crap at them like you're on a TV show and hope it sticks.
Oh, wait, I don't think you saw like soup video or soup recipes. What I think you saw was espresso related stuff because I've been considering getting my dad an espresso machine for his birthday.
Nice. All right, well, I got one last brief topic before we wrap it up.
Yippee.
This one I think you might actually like. So, from what I understand, is there's a new head of the Department of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives.
That agency isn't needed.
Oh, I agree completely. Yeah, that part of the government, in my personal opinion, has not helped the city of Chicago reduce its crime. The Federal Bureau of Investigations has at least moderately helped by trying to go ahead and take up shell casings and do basic tracing. That would be too expensive or too difficult for the Chicago Police Department to do. To go ahead and say, okay, well, this is this caliber and that is that caliber.
So they're just doing forensics that the local police just isn't able to afford to do.
Basically, yeah. That's essentially what they've been doing for several years. And that's like, okay, well, they're actually good at that. They can go ahead and, like, the Chicago cops or the Chicago paramedics can go ahead and pull a bullet out of a victim as they're patching them up, bag that up, and have someone give it to the FBI and go, okay, we found this in this individual that was wounded over at, like, 95th and King Drive. And they can go ahead and run that and go ahead and go, okay, hey, this is a 9mm bullet, or it's a 380 bullet, or it's a 45 ACP bullet. So this is what you're going to be looking for as far as possible perpetrators. You know, they can basically do all the backlog work like that for them in the more technical stuff. While the cops go ahead and try and ask people and gather information and what have you.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I myself, on one occasion, when I was quite literally on Lent, walking over to Steve's Lounge over in Hegwish, because they had a fish fry. My mom was like, look, I'm tired. I'm sick. You know, I don't want to go anywhere here. Here's $40. Go get us some food from the fish fry. And I went, okay, cool. I'll go do that. And I went past one of the auto body shops on my way to Baltimore Avenue to make my way there. And I stepped on something. I was like, all right, well, what the hell is this? I nearly tripped over the damn thing. I picked it up. I looked at it, went, okay, it was some piece of copper or whatever. I figured that maybe, like, you know how you have those fancy novelty things that you have on your tires for the stem that just you take off and you put on? I figured it was one of those. So I just looked at it real quick and all right, whatever. Threw it back in my pocket. Went over to Steve's Lounge. Got 2 big ass things of fish. Got it in a big old bag. Brought it home. Then I took it out of my pocket after I gave Mom hers, her fish, and then just started eating it. And I was like, oh shit. And I'm like, hey Ma. She's like, yeah, what? And I'm like, I tripped over this. I think it's a bullet. And she's like, yeah, I think you're right. I think you ought to call the 4th precinct. So I called them and they came right over and they're like, yeah, we'll go ahead and get this to the FBI. Where'd you find this at? And I gave them the intersection. I was like, yeah, about like 133rd, 134th in Baltimore, right where the auto body shop is. I was making my way over for Lent. And they're like, and you were going where for Lent? I was going to Steve's Lounge. So they had the fish fry. Okay, cool. Funny you mentioned that. We heard a negligent discharge on the shot detector about 3 days ago, and we couldn't find nothing. You might actually help us out. Thank you very much. And they ran that to the FBI, I think. Because they're like, yeah, we'll go ahead and run this. And usually when it comes to that, they run it to the FBI. So I was like, oh, that's good. But the ATF have not done anything like that for Chicago. So, I can't say good things about them,
They're more than happy to shoot your dog.
I'm absolutely sure they'll shoot your dog. They'll shoot my cat I was just petting here. Oh. I'm very certain of it. So anyways, let's let the ATF speak for itself.
With that, here are some key highlights. The stabilizing brace rule, which came into effect in 2023, that rule we are proposing to rescind. There are courts in multiple jurisdictions which we found violated the APA. Good. They were enjoined or vacated across the country. We believe that the common sense approach to align regulatory text with those judicial determinations, rather than keeping them on the books as regulations, would have already been thrown out. Engage in the business, which came into effect in 2024. We are also formally proposing to rescind the engage in the business rule. We believe that the responsible regulatory governance requires adjusting the course when evidence shows a rule has not worked as intended. The ATF has found the changes to the definition of who was engaged in business have not produced the outcomes needed to justify keeping the rule. As you'll see, today's proposed rule retains definition of the engage in the business as specifically revised and codified by Congress. No more, no less. With that, here are some key highlights.
What happened with? Yeah, I was going to say, what happened with the force reset triggers again?
As far as I know, with the forced reset trigger case, they're deemed to not be considered fully automatic firearms.
Okay.
Because Rare Breed Trigger, as far as I know, they've had a hard time actually getting back all the triggers that they themselves as a company had to give to the ATF, and as well as the reset triggers that customers had returned them to return to the ATF. If you want, I can go ahead and look in Guns and Gadgets.
So the ATF is just being a bunch of bitches.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. They've been being dicks about it. Because from what I understand, they initially tried to make the argument that it turns every firearm into a fully automatic firearm.
But it doesn't satisfy the definition of a fully automatic firearm.
Correct. Because the best person I would go to for that would be one YouTuber who's been very good in the 3D printed environment. And he's made a lot of videos in regards to forced reset triggers. And he's explained how they work very well. Let me see if I can find this guy. Let's see here. Where can I find this youngster?
Youngster, aren't you 36?
Yeah, I am.
I'm guessing it's T-Rex arms? No, he's not. He doesn't do
no, it's not
3D
T-Rex
print.
arms. It's the guy that wears the balaclava all the time.
Oh, I know.
ESR. All right, let's see here. All right, I've got his channel. Let me see if I can find the particular video. Okay, got it. But the one thing he explains repeatedly is the fact that how a forced reset trigger works is in many different designs that people have made of them is, yes, you squeeze the trigger
and then it
fire.
Yeah, it's a forced reset.
Yes. And then the mechanism will rapidly re-engage the hammer or whatever the firing mechanism is so that you can more rapidly squeeze the trigger. So if you are going pretty swiftly with your fingers, and if you learn the rhythm of the mechanism, you can simulate fully automatic fire. But you do
and you can do it with or without one too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's the old trick that you can take a wasser tend with, not the underfold.
I was going to say the belt buckle trick.
I was going to go with the rubber bands, but sure, we can go with the belt buckle. Because the best one I've seen was the rubber band trick, to where some guy went ahead and said, okay, let's assume your spring is completely shot and the bolt and all that is shot. How would you theoretically get it to work? And this guy basically got 2,000 rubber bands, banded them together, and was able to accidentally make it fully automatic. But if you actually paid attention to the video in which he did this, he was squeezing the trigger each particular time, but because of how the rubber bands work.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Yeah,
it's just the motion of the gun.
Yeah, it's just the cycling rate has been increased, so it's much more swifter. Not fully automatic to the naked eye, it just looks like it. But you still got to do a lot of.
It's good that the pistol brace rule is gone.
Yeah, I'm not very fond of the pistol brace rule. One firearm
that was unconstitutional anyway.
In my opinion, damn near every form of gun control, in quotations, is unconstitutional. Although if you're going to buy a firearm, I still think, like how we humorously put in the short, use the Blair Lester Holt rule of, do you know what the fuck you're doing? Can you demonstrate to me you know what the fuck you're doing? I'm going to make sure
no.
No.
I don't know how to use a gun.
If you don't know, you don't get the sale. Basically. Sure, I'm going to go ahead and sell this to you, and I'm going to go ahead and give you ammunition so you can blow a hole in the ceiling of my business. Yeah, no. How about no?
Yeah, maybe during the after show I can help you with getting vertical tabs onto your browser, whatever you're using.
Possibly. Okay, so
I can also show you the browsers I am using.
Sure.
RPK, but there's some cool distinct differences. Of course, you saw in the intro, this is the Texas Triggers FRT for AK platform rifles. So if you've been watching the channel,
now see how he's actually repeatedly squeezing the trigger?
Yeah.
Texas Triggers FRT for AK platform rifles. So if you've been watching the channel, you probably saw my Polish battle video, which I use the Texas Trigger battle specific FRT, which is a little bit different than this one. But this one is a standard pattern AK FRT that works in most AKs. Zastava didn't send this to me. This was actually sent to me by Texas Triggers themselves. So huge shout out to those guys. So before we get into the overview of this gun,
and notice, as I'll point out again,
rifles. So if you've been watching the channel, you probably saw my Polish.
And as it's cycling, as you can see there, and this is particularly why I want to pull this video up, because you can actually see the rifle cycle very well.
Mask, you're seeing a little bit more into my soul and into my mouth with this mask, but we are covering the M72B1 RPK
maybe
from
I backed up a little bit
Zastava
too
Arms.
much.
We'll call it Serbian for right now, but it is a Yugoslav design, of course, you saw in the intro, this is the Texas. So if you've been watching the channel, you probably saw my Polish battle video, which I use the Texas Trigger battle specific FRT, which is a little bit different than this one. But this one is a standard
very swift cycling there too. And as he has stated here, this is another company other than the one that initially made the original forced reset trigger, who is making their own brand of forced reset triggers for the AK platform of rifles.
That's neat.
So, yeah, I absolutely love it. Being that I live somewhere where I can lawfully possess those, I in the future may do that. But presently, I'm trying to focus on getting other things running right now. But in the near future, we'll wind up doing some content akin to this, because I do like the fact that this is something that you can do, and this is something that's perfectly legal. The only trouble I think one might run into is, well, if you are using an FRT engaged firearm or equipped firearm, whatever the term is, you might have a hard time finding a range where it's going to go, hold up there, I need to see your ATF paperwork. And it's like, this is not an NFA item. What do you need my, I don't have the, and the next, they're, escorting you off the range and giving you a red slip saying you are banned from here for fully automatic fire and violating several safety rules or what have you. But yeah, the one thing that I do like is this is something that's perfectly lawful. This is something that's becoming more common. And this is one way people have been able to go ahead and just
the AKM basically from the ground up, and that became the Zastava M70. This development started in the early 60s. They had some prototypes, and eventually it led them to their military rifle for many, many years, the M70. The M70 has a couple differences to the AKM. Mainly, you can tell by the handguard. Obviously, this is different because this is the RPK version, but the handguard on the M70 has 3 of these holes, whereas the AKM just has 2. The M70 was a little bit different in that it was set up to fire rifle grenades, and so they added a little detent and spring to keep the top cover from.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Fancy.
Oh, absolutely fancy. It's one of the reasons why I like PSR's channel, is because he's a very intuitive person. And it does bother me every now and again that because of how YouTube is not necessarily preferential to people who enjoy firearms, they say, well, you know what, we're going to do it this way and you're going to like it. And it's like, I think not. Because the simplest way I can do it is, okay.
I mean, at least YouTube is not Twitch.
Yeah, most definitely. At least YouTube isn't Twitch. That's always a godsend. Dear God. Yeah, over at Chaos Media, though we are a Chicago-based company, I've been a lifelong resident until relatively recently. I don't make any bones about it. But
I will laugh if I get us in trouble over the Twitch stuff.
Don't worry, I'm not going to yell at you if we get in trouble over that. That's fine.
I said I'll laugh though.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. That's one of the reasons why I'm doing this on multiple platforms. Is in the off case we do get into trouble with one, well, we've got others.
Yeah,
that's one of the reasons why I went ahead and did all the work to go ahead and get us connected to other sources.
I know. When people sometimes cover Hassan Piker, they get in trouble on other platforms because of what he says.
Yeah. God. That's why the outro that I have tells everyone that this company is not responsible for you. We're only responsible for ourselves. Hell, technically, I'm not even responsible for you. I'm responsible for this asshole here who keeps bitching that I turned his eyes off. But, I'm not responsible for you. You're just a guest with your own opinions, and you're a decent person. So we let you on whenever you're available and whenever we're running this shit show.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that.
I'm an easy guest to book.
Yeah. Yeah, you're an easy person. You are a very easy person to work with. You don't give us a lot of fuss, and all the things that you go and bring in as far as, hey, cover this, hey, cover that. It's like, okay, these are things I don't know anything about. Okay, these are things that are relatively intriguing. Or as the Twitch stuff are deeply disturbing. And it's like, you cover my peripherals for all intents and purposes. So the stuff that I miss that's deeply screwed up, you go ahead and go, hey, yo, you missed this.
And next thing you know, you're watching two men in gimp suits
get tased. Women in some road warrior looking costumes mixed with like the horror maid of or not the horror maid, the horror nurse of what the hell was it? That video game, Silent Hill, yeah. The horror nurses of Silent Hill, yeah, some type of weird mix of the two of those, and it's like
I said, those are gimp suits. It's a BDSM thing.
Yeah, that's a bit weird. That's a bit weird. Yeah. Now that I actually have this external drive, which has been very important, because it's been very difficult to get a hold of external drives as of lately, just due to the AR market and all that stuff, which this company does use. I mostly generate shorts from all the live streams we have, and that gets us traction. I don't have a lot of places to shill out the actual live stream, so it is what it is, or I'll do that at a later point.
I have no problem with AI, but I also hate AI.
The same. Not too far from us in Hobart, Indiana, we've got a lot of stories cooking on the AI data center that's being built there. I'm trying to find a date to actually go out to where they've broken ground at, because it's in driving distance. But every other time it's like, hey, I've got like 2 or 3 hours I can kill. It's like, yeah, it's downpouring and we need to charge the external microphone. That's like,
I have heard that these AI data centers are like raising like the like surrounding areas temperatures like another 3 degrees or something.
I haven't heard a lot of that. Most of the things that have been raised, that's more so the misses research, but they in preparation or before a data center gets proposed and brought up, it seems that more often than not, from the speculation and the dots she's been able to tie together, it seems that a lot of areas in preparation for a data center will have the utilities jump because they're expecting, oh crap, we're going to have this giant mega thing that's going to draw a lot of power. Okay, quick, crank it up to 15. And when they crank it up to 15, metaphorically speaking, everyone else gets a giant bill in the mail that explains, hey, you're being charged for this. And they go, well, what the hell?
And then there's the sound stuff too that you found.
Yes. And one of the streams we did go over that, and
yeah, have your girl look into the temperature thing. So that's
all
something
right.
I just heard about.
We'll see what we can do to get some type of equipment to get temperature. I mean, the one thing, thanks to COVIDs, that's readily available are the forehead laser scanners. I've used those a lot at my last job.
That's for surface temperatures, though. It's not like air temperature.
Oh, okay, air temperature, not spatial temperature. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, that's something.
Like I'm hearing it's raising like surrounding temperatures of like the areas they're around by like a few degrees.
All right. We'll have to look into that when they get it built, because the one in Hobart off of 61st, I think it is, it hasn't been constructed yet, but they have purchased the property, and there's lots of security systems over there, and there are also vehicles there, like construction vehicles, like dumper trucks and all that, or whatever they're called. when the weather isn't being insane and I have the time on a weekend, I'll go ahead and go over there and actually do a report. The primary thing we're trying to do is get good weather to do reporting over there so we can have actual factual field reporting. And then the other thing is, like I mentioned in the last stream, we're trying to get other actual microphones that I can plug into this cell phone and use, because the Bluetooth one has worked very well for like person-to-person interviews. But other than that, it's not worked very well. Or the other possibility is that the high school that they had the last meeting for the AI data center, the way they had the auditorium set up, the way they had their audio system set up, it's very good for like if you're physically there. But as far as any other electronic equipment picking it up, it's like super echoey crappy. Because Fox was there, if I remember correctly, and they didn't have any of their sound equipment. They just had their cameras there recording. I had to duck under them repeatedly when I was going to check the other camera that I had set up on a tripod. So we're going to try and see what we can procure cost effectively in the near future, because May 17th, if I remember correctly, is when they're going to have the next meeting, and it's going to be over at the government center in Crown Point, Indiana, for the follow-up for the data center. We're going to try and get over there and hopefully get there with better audio equipment to report on it.
Oh yeah. For just watching something, whenever you get the chance, I'm sure you don't use Netflix, but if you like are able to, if you're able to acquire the episodes, I highly recommend checking out the One Piece live action.
I hate One Piece, but I'll try that. The missus and I are watching another show after we get through that.
The show is really good, and like a lot of people are liking it.
God, I hate One Piece. I'll try and stomach it for your sake.
It is super good.
But tying it all back to the ATF, I'm glad that the new head has made an announcement that they're going to stop
undo a lot of what Biden's.
Yeah, I'm glad that they're doing a lot of reforms. I'm very glad about that, because the one thing that has annoyed me is there's something in the future I might have to do a story on, but I'd have to actually interview a whole bunch of people about it. Not too far from where the studio is, there used to be a building that was an FFL in Gary known as Westworth Sports. And it was my favorite firearm store to go to because it had just about everything and anything. And at the time, I had my LCP2, and it was relatively difficult to get hollow points for it that would feed properly. And they said, well, okay, you have your FOID card, you have your carry permit. This is one of the few places outside of the state of Illinois, unless you want to go all the way to, I don't know, Bloomington to try and make a purchase there, which, wait, there aren't any FFLs in Bloomington. Hi. Yeah, try and see if you can beat all the FUDs in at Tinley Park and Orland Park and everywhere around there as the police are waiting outside to arrest you for a straw purchase. You know, you can always go to Westworth. And, they would go ahead and go, okay, we're going to run your information. Okay, you're clear. Just just sign this paper that says you are not selling this to anyone at all. And I was like, yeah, no, I'm not selling that to anyone. I'm using it for me. I'm a security officer. I need hollow points because if I have range ammo and I cause property damage, I'm in deep trouble. And they're like, okay, sure. Okay, then fill out this form. Okay, here you go. Boom. And they got shut down because the city of Chicago kept berating them over the head and was like, okay, we think you're making straw purchases. And it's like, they're pointing to me and going, we just sold this to a rent-a-cop. What the fuck are you talking about? He's over by one of your old government buildings. And I'm like, hi, guys. And it has been shut down for several years, but it was my favorite place to go to because if there was something you needed, they usually had it, or they could usually special order it, and they usually dotted their I's and crossed their T's to make sure you were making a lawful purchase. And most of the staff there were relatively knowledgeable, and they had all sorts of ridiculous knickknacks. Like they had the paperweights that were the hand grenades that I'd see all the time at like swap meets and that as like joke gifts for people. And they had the German stick grenades, and they had all sorts of they had, let's see here. They had G3s. They had a Mosin Nagant. They had that weird shotgun that Tim Pool has. That's a bullpup shotgun with the 2 magazines. They had a variety of different helmets, mostly for costume stuff, because they had like historical artifacts or reproductions of like, you know, the steel helmets for like the Red Army and that, and a handful of other things. Like they tried to get as much weird stuff as possible, just because they wanted people to go in and go, oh wow, hey, that's cool. And for the police department or any other police department, they're like, okay, hey, if you guys need gear, bring your paperwork and we'll see if we can get you anything. And eventually they just wound up shutting down. I was like, well, that's sad. That's horrible. And then the Crown Point gun show in Crown Point, Indiana kind of had a similar thing to where they're still going. But because a lot of the people who would have booths there would have the ATF breathing down their necks, and the people that were doing the stamping, you know, they go, okay, well, you're not checking well enough. I'm checking IDs. What do you mean I'm not checking?
I just sent you a funny picture. It's on Discord.
It's not pulling up on the computer. I'd have to literally email it to myself. You have to send it in the private chat.
In here? I don't know if I can.
You might be able to.
I can do this maybe. It's in my clipboard. It's not.
I'm not seeing it as. Yeah, you have to put it in the chat on.
Let me save and then I'll do this.
Okay.
Shoot, no, not that.
There we go. Oh, Lord. I wish you had that up when you first brought that video. That's quite hilarious.
You're welcome.
Good Lord. That's hilarious. Jesus. But the one problem they'd run into at the Crown Point gun show is they'd get a lot of scrutiny from Chicago, because Chicago has this rule that is relatively ridiculous where they say, if I remember correctly, from when I was a security officer, basically they want to try and enforce a 60-mile or block radius. So if you're within 60 miles of the city of Chicago, they want to try and tell you, you cannot run an FFL because we think that you may be a straw seller to a straw purchaser who may make a straw crime in the straw city of Chicago for the straw argument. So being that Crown Point is under 60 miles away from Chicago, because they're in Northwest Indiana, the ATF and all of them would be around there just like basically investigating everybody from the knife salesman to the guy selling gold and silver trump cards to the guy in the back selling AR and AK magazines and Pokemon cards. I'm pretty sure there was a guy there once selling Pokemon cards, or at least his kids were playing Pokemon, something like that. They decided the ATF was going to be around and about inspecting people regularly. And it's like, wow, you know, at the time I was moving out of state and I was like, wow, look, I just need a sling for my Wasser. That's really all I want. I just want a regular 1.2 point sling, man. What do you guys got? And the ATF is like, oh, wow, that's a very nice rifle you have there, Mr. Sir. And I'm like, yeah, it's perfectly legal. And then I had about 5 guys try and buy it off me, and then the ATF backed off just because of the angry mob of people. And I'm like, hi, guys, I'm not trying to sell this thing. I just need a sling. And then the irony is there were no 2-point slings, so I had to call my bank and tell them, hey, I'm going to make a purchase from Russia. From Russia. And they said, why are you making a purchase from Russia? They're the only people that have 2-point slings. So I had to have the bank say it's okay for you to make a purchase from Russia. And then I had the Russians sell me a 2-point sling because the ATF and everyone else chased everyone else out that had 2-point slings and a couple other oddballs. So, yeah, basically going to be in Boy Scout cookies, a guy selling gutters, and a whole bunch of old guys selling military surplus. And then, yeah, basically the city of Chicago and the ATF scared a lot of people away from the Crown Point gun show. and chase them over to Indianapolis and other places far out of their 60-mile purview. Just because they're like, oh, well, we're going to enforce our rule. And it's like, what the hell?
No fun.
Yeah, no fun allowed. Yeah. So now that the ATF guy who's new is saying, okay, well, we're going to rescind a lot of this. Hopefully that means in the future I can get a 2-point sling without having to get it from Russia. Because I know that.
And maybe you'll do it without the ATF sticking a finger up your butthole.
Yeah, hopefully they won't be sticking their finger up my butthole. I've come very close to that, too close to that on many occasions. It's very ridiculous when I was, getting moved in and that. And it's like, look, here's all the paperwork I have. This is what I'm getting. And so basically this old guy's like, okay, if I'm understanding this correctly, yeah. You're going from Chicago. Yeah. You're moving here over to the other Chicago. No, that's New Chicago. We all know it's basically Chicago. Yeah. You're getting something that holds less than 10 rounds. Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Really? Yeah, no shit. And he's literally holding up this magazine I'm trying to buy from him. And he's like, look, it's not a crime for me to sell this to you because it's legal within your bullshit laws. Ignore the thing that they tell you can't have anything that has a barrel that of which you can hold without burning yourself. No one is going to try and say, okay, in the court of law, you have to use this firearm and demonstrate to us that you can't use it without burning your fingers on the barrel. Because that was one thing that got put into the Blair Lester Holt assault weapons ban that later become the Protect Illinois Communities Act that Mr. Pritzker put in, to where everyone looked at this one particular part and went, how? And then basically that became the one thing that everyone ignored in court. Because for someone to demonstrate that would mean they'd collapse the entire thing, because you'd quite literally have to get someone like Chuck Norris to use any pistol, shotgun, or rifle and go, okay, I'm going to just grip this barrel that does not have a foregrip because this is your law, and fire it and not burn myself in any capacity because I am Chuck fucking Norris.
I think we should try and wrap up soon.
Yeah, pretty much. That's the last topic, unless there's any other music videos or any other funny stuff you want to put up, because...
Not here.
All right. Oh, all right. Well, wow, going on for 3 hours. All right. That's been a lot of fun. It'll be very enjoyable to generate some shorts and share this out to other people. So, everyone have yourselves a good night, and do remember, above all else, don't get yourself arrested.
Don't stream yourself in a gimp suit.
Please don't.
32 Robert. Quick threatening suicide at 35 Penn on Pine Grove. 35 Penn Pine Grove. Permit 516 on the 5. Matthews calling saying his ex-girlfriend grabbed a knife and threatened to kill her.
Thanks for watching the video. Hope you enjoyed it. If you want more, go ahead and like, subscribe. In various parts of the video, we've got our QR code. Go ahead and take that thing. It'll save you a lot of trouble.